greetings, everybody out there. Blue Six, what the heck are you doing out here so late in the morning, man? Hey, man, God bless you. Thank you for your support. Blue Six is in the chat room. I am James, actually. Uh, I am here. We are doing a live show today having to do with the beginners market for, if you want to learn how to do your stocks and all this kind of stuff, you want to do commodities, and you want to do the forex markets, and you want to be a trader is what it is. So today we're doing a demo. What's up? I'm not the real money, dude. It takes real money to do real stuff here. So we got to do a demo because I don't have like a gazillion dollars to do anything. So we're using the demo here to do it. But we're going to be doing. We're not talking politics today. So if you're out there like Blue Six, we're not doing that, but we are doing some demos out here and this kind of stuff. What Blue Six put out there, I have no idea. I got little teeny letters that I'm looking at here. Yeah, I guess that's what Blue Six says there. So Blue Six, thank you for joining us here. We're doing we're going to be doing commodities. Okay, I know I pronounced that terrible. You don't have to remind me, but there's a lot of people that don't know how to trade it. They don't know how to trade commodities. They don't know how to trade oil. They don't know how to trade coffee or soybeans, and the thing is, because they make it kind of confusing. You got oils, you got barrels, and then you got bushels if you're doing I believe it's the soybeans, and it's like everybody's got like different measuring things for it. But don't worry about it. It's still a contract that you're going to be trading. So don't go psycho bananas on it. And you can still trade it. So the thing is, I put up the you can see I have $11,000 flat is what I got on there. The goal is to move that level of the 11,000 upwards. All right. Now, if you're going to do a commodity trading, I will say you'll need about a good start for commodity trading. It's minimum. You might be looking at around 11,000. All right, but if you really want to be out there and have the strength that you need, especially if you're going to have margins in your account, you're going to need about 50,000, close to $50,000 to do the trading you need, because it can be very elusive and it can be very dynamic to do commodity trading if you're trying to do it as making money on a constant basis. Now, if you're doing long run, it's a little different, but you're still going to have to survive those margins, because margins can destroy your account in a major way. So what we're going to do is let's get going here. Let's do a little trading here. Dividend and tip each company. Not sure what you're asking there. Let me see. No, I don't think so. No, that's a different market. Blue Six was asking me a question about dividends, and I'm not aware of dividends to say what you in commodity tradings. This is different. This is a general market. What's being traded in the general market, and that's the Chicago Exchange Board that does a lot of the commodity trading. And they have oil, they have soybeans, they have gold, silver, platinum, copper. They also have cotton. They have cattle feed. Both they got cattle and cattle feed, so don't get them confused. Natural gas they have. Now my board here, you can see where I don't get to cover everything, because since it is a demo, I don't know, for whatever reason they don't allow you to do all of them. So we're gonna be looking at natural gas, gold, and I'm not sure how clear this looks on your YouTube. Mine looks a little blurry, and I don't think it's my eyes, because I can see my eyesight's pretty sharp sometimes, and right now it's kind of like it's pretty good today. But I have it blown up pretty big size on my screen, so I don't know. It just seems a little blurry. I can't fix it. I don't know why I cannot fix that. All right. So we're gonna be doing this binary. Are you looking at? I think you said. I'm not sure. No, binary. If you're looking at binary, I think you're looking at binary. Binary. Never ever trade that. Never trade binary options. Never trade that. That's not. That's basically a bunch of companies running a bunch of scams. All right, you're going to lose all your money on that. All right, I will not trade that unless you really know what the heck you're doing on that. This is basically a company that does real commodity trading. All right, this commodity trade's been around for a very long time. It's like a stock market. Now there are where you can get options on commodity trading. All right, where you have options for gold and you have options for uh, for like natural gas and options for oil. Okay, you have calls. You can put calls and puts. On this one, I don't see it being offered on this platform. This is basically capital.com here, and I'm using it because of the demo. I don't have I'm not associated with the company in any form or shape. All right, it seems like their demo's pretty good, so I'm going to be try. Actually, I never tried their demo up to today. Today is actually the first time I tried this demo. All right, I just wanted to pull it out here and say, well, I'll pull this one out here because it seems like it's pretty cool. Seems like they has what I'm looking for here, so we're going to be doing that. So let me go look at what we got going here today. Are you ready to take some notes there, Blue Six? Take some notes, Blue Six. Blue Six here. Hang on a second. Let me get my I gotta get my charts out. All right, because I gotta do it with charts. And when I do my chart, let me get my chart out here. Hang on a second. All right, where's my chart? Okay. All right, I had it pulled. Yeah, I hate when it does that. It's not giving me what I want. All right. Well, you're not gonna be able to see my chart on there. Hang on a sec. As I pull this around, mess with it a little here. I gotta get on my. The problem is I'm limited to the amount of windows I can have open on my screen here. So I'm trying to play with everything to get them open. Okay, so here we go. Got my chart open here. All right, and make sure I can keep my cursor. Here we go. So you guys cannot see. You have a chart that I am not using, but it's similar to the chart that I have right now. The problem is I have a obligation with the chart. The other chart that I use, that chart will give more of a real time, and I had that for a very long time. And you can actually be violating one of the things that they have because theirs is precise chart. All right. Now, one of my charts also have my own indicators that I do not share with other people. But you're still going to have a common chart here, and it's still I'm going to still I think you'll still be able to get some help here, I guess, with the common charts. So I'm going to pull this up here on the common chart so you guys can see. And are you seeing that, Blue Six? You see me zoom in there? Let me know, dude. So we're going to look at oil right now. Okay, the oil is used on the. It's listed. Some companies will list it as CL1. That will be usually your crude light oil. That's what we're looking at here. We'll be looking at CO1 here, light oil, which is that right now oil is at $93.93. That's the price right now for oil. So we're going to be looking at where do we have support and where do we have resistance is what I'm going to be looking at. Possible, where's the exchange going to make place? Now remember, it's us versus people like the Illuminatis, all right, and the big bankers and the big institution. This is the thing about this channel is I try to get you to understand investment from a whole different point of view. People think that investment is fair. People think that the stock market and option market and forex market is a fair market. It is not. It is a very manipulated market, super manipulated market. All right, by top bankers and all kind of people with the big bucks and institutions. So you're looking at it from different points of view here, and I have to kind of put myself on their shoes just to try to make the proper exchanges here, because you have to wonder. They put a lot of false information. Sometimes they'll put a lot of false news or news that they make up and they blow it out of proportion to either spook a stock or economy or whatever they want to spook in one direction or the other. All right, so there's a lot of BS always going on with that. You got to always be aware that you're not dealing with a fair market. The game is rigged, all right, on all these markets. So let me see what we got here on the. Let me pull out. I got the cotton chart, and I wanna. Okay, thank you, Blue Six. I just want to make sure it was working there. Okay, so you say it zoomed in. So let me go to the. We're going to go to the oil chart here. We're at the oil chart right now. All right, that's where we're at right here. And let me look what we got going at the oil chart. Oh, what do we got going at the oil chart? We got $93.27. That's what we got on the oil chart. And And we see right now that his run is not, believe it or not, at the, let me see if I'm not sure if you guys can see this. Ah, man, I gotta find a way to fix all these windows. Too many windows, and I have to have room for all these windows when I'm doing this. Okay, hang on a second. Because I want to make sure that you guys are able to see what I'm doing here. I don't know if I'm gonna fit all this right here, but I'm going to do my best. Alright, here we go. Yeah, okay, that's what I just want to make sure you guys were able to see my cursor. You can see that little X running around. Let me see if I can put the cursor better. Arrow. Let me look for the arrow. No, the arrow's not. That's not what I want. Trash that thing. I'll give you my. Let's see if I get a line here. Like I said, I have not really used this indicator before. Not indicator, this platform before. So I should have tested a little bit before I jumped on here. But anyway, we're gonna test it out here. So we're looking at oil. We're probably gonna be looking at getting a sell on oil now at 93. We're gonna sell on oil, not buy. You're gonna sell on oil. Probably looking at a sell, even though you can see that it's down here. Let me check make sure that we are in the right time frame here. If we're in the 15-minute shorts, 20 minutes, I mean the half an hour short or 1 hour short, make sure that I'm in the right time frame on the short here. Okay, the short is on. Hang on a sec. Hang on. Where is my minute shorts here? I like to, when I'm dealing with this, I'm usually dealing with 5-minute shorts, 5-minute short here. Here we go. We're going to go, make sure you have this on a 5-minute short. We're doing 5-minute shorts. Economies can change, especially doing volatile markets, can change up and down in minutes. All right, it can be very fast, and you could be stuck with some really expensive stuff, and you could lose a lot of money. All right, so we're going to a 5-minute short. Are you paying attention to me there, Blue Six? Go to a 5-minute short. Don't be telling me later on that you lost $10 billion and it was all my fault, all right? So here we go. We are in a 5-minute short, and we're watching the candle drop here because it's ran into it's actually on top. On top there, it's actually ran into resistance on top there. Let me see if I can pull in the line in here. See what kind of drawing apparatus do we have here. Here we got a line. I think this is a line here. Just give me a line that I can move around, and I'm a happy camper. There you go. Let's see if I can move this line. Sometimes you can move around. Okay, up here, it's got a bit of resistance. There's actually 2 resistance on here. There's a resistance right here. All right, this is running into. It's kind of overshot that resistance, and it's hit. Let me get my line out here. And it hit the top one here. At the bottom here, at about $91,000, about $91.05, it has another resistance there at the bottom. Actually, that's not even at the 91. Why is it saying 91? That one is not even correct. Let me see. Make sure that's 91 here. That's 93. Sorry. Yeah, I'm looking at it because that chart is so damn blurry, so little. It's actually 93. Okay, so that was too much. I was looking, but that was just way too much. So there's the price right now is at $93.90, and the resistance down here that I got this arrow down here, it's around at $93.05. Let's just make it a flat 93. That's where you have the resistance. All right, so you are moving up here, and we're looking at to make a possible trade here on oil. Sometimes the things do not fall in place. This is like basically looking for an alignment of all the solar system. All right, when you're gonna have to put in your bid. Right now, it is not aligning right. All right, and I'm gonna show you why. Let me pull another line. I have to pull another line here, and this is what I gotta do. All right, so I'm gonna pull another line here. All right, let me get another line here. All right, there you go. The reason this is not going right here. Let me see if I can move this one, because whereas that's in the middle, you got something that is not hitting the resistance and is not hitting support. So if you get into something like that, it could go at any direction at any second. All right, so you're gonna run some problems into that. All right, So right now, it's not looking good for oil right now for me to get into oil. Okay, now remember, we're starting off with a $11,000 demo right here is what we have, $11,000. The goal here is to raise that and make that, of course, way more money. So we're going to do this. A lot of people get into these commodities and they lose everything. They get wiped out. All right, because this has got a lot of stuff going. Now, the chart that you have here, the one that you're seeing here from Capital, I'm sure they got their indicators and stuff. I have my own indicators that I've a long time ago put together myself. I don't share those indicators here, but I'll give you a little less where we're at with this whole enchilada. So we're going to be looking on here. Okay, so right now we're going to leave that alone, and we're going to go check right now natural gas. Let's see what natural gas, to see if natural gas is more or less in an area that I can deal with. All right, so let me go look at natural gas here. All right, hang on a second. Also, natural gas is showing that it is also in the middle. Natural gas is not. It's between the support level, and it's also between the resistance level. So it's in the middle. All right, so right now natural gas is not a place to get into right now, natural gas. So we're going to have to skip on natural gas, and we're going to be looking at oil now. See what we can see on oil. All right. Not oil. Sorry, we're looking at gold, not oil. We were looking at gold, oil. Now we're looking at gold now. Gold also indicates it's in the middle. So things are kind of flat right now. Here, they're going sideways. A little bit of sideways action is what we got here. Now there's good volatility on it, but it's also very risky to get into on a market that has no real direction. All right, so you will want to just hold off there on gold. Let me see if I find anything that is we got let me see. I don't have this oil on the other chart that I have. What do we got here? Okay, silver. Well, we got. Let me check copper here. Copper is also pretty much in the middle. All right, so it's not. It's just sitting this a lot. So oil, gold, and copper are basically sitting in the middle between support and resistance right now. So it's not giving you too much of direction on where we're going with all this. Let me see what else do we got here. We got cotton. Let me see if we can get a cotton. Maybe cotton will help us out here. And maybe we can put in a bid. Remember, do not be in a hurry to put in a bid. Just because you're desperate to put something in. No, you gotta wait. You gotta wait till the timing is right to put any kind of bid. So let me see here. Let me find me the cotton here. All right, I got cotton. Let me share. I got cotton here, right here. This is cotton. Let's see what cotton. Something tells me it's probably going to be somewhere in the middle again. But cotton. This is the problem here. Well, you see down here in the edge. You see down here at this bottom here. You see if I can. Let me grab my little line here on cotton. All right. All right. This let me see if I can move it. Come on, try it. Work with me here. Cotton doesn't want to work with me. This here is very tight. Now this is an indication of a possible breakout. It's going to probably occur here. Something. It's probably going to go one way or the other, but in a good. You could say in a good amount of weight. So let me go. I'm still looking for cotton in my other chart, and see where we're at with the cotton. Okay. Cotton, where's the cotton? And there's your cotton. Cotton is actually cotton's pretty good right now. We may actually be looking at a buy here on cotton, and it could actually happen it could happen anywhere between the next 5 minutes to the next hour. We might be looking at a buy for cotton. All right, so we may be looking at a possible buy. Let me see what kind of system, because I haven't even used this system here. This is not normally the platforms I will use. Okay. So if I was to go on a buy on cotton, I just want to see what kind of contracts we're looking at here. All right. So what do we got here? We got we got about 181,000 on the size here. It looks like pounds. All right, and it's quite expensive. Holy crap! That's the price of it. All right. Now you could bring the on this one. Now here's the thing about platforms. All platforms can be different. All right. Some of them will give you will let you do one thing. Someone will limit you. So you got to find the one that has that has a lot of you could say a lot of things you can adjust, especially in the order. On this order, it allows me to actually go down on it, so I don't have to investing. If you only had $11,000, all right, and you open up an account for Commodities Trading, like I said, that's like very limited. You should be at least at $50,000 to do this, and maybe a lot more, all right, to do Commodities Trading, all right. But if you open up an account for that, for about $11,000, like I said, we're under a demo account here for $11,000, and our goal is to move it up. Going and buying something for $8,000, I can tell you right now, is extremely, extremely risky. Not a good idea. You're not gonna. You're putting around 70% of your account up front, and you could lose it all in a major move, and on cotton or anything. So no, it's not going to be a good idea for you to do that. So be careful there what you do. All right, Blue Six. Don't go there and invest all your money on this. All right. So we're looking at this. Yeah, gold is a good investment if it's got. But here, when we're dealing with the international market for commodities, all right, such as oil, gold, copper, and all this stuff. You're dealing with people who are manipulating trades. You're dealing with super banks, institutional trading, and those are the top dogs. Institutional banks and super banks are the top dogs. Everybody below that is the small dog. You can say we're just the cattle. We're the ones being manipulated out of our money by the top dogs who are moving the markets in the direction they want to. All right. Now, of course, if you have people buying in different countries more and more gold, or you have China buying a lot of gold, yeah, it slowly starts going up. Slowly the price will start going up. But these top dogs, these top manipulators, these top people that are in this market can move the market up and down in a good strong way. So sometimes you might see oil going through the moon, all right, and all of a sudden you see the oil coming back, and you're saying, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. We have oil going up to 120. And there's not enough refineries. They already said there's not enough refineries. The capacity, the amount of oil you can manufacture. All right, in Saudi Arabia it's up to about 97%, and in the U.S. around the same thing. All right, so all of a sudden you see a couple of weeks go by, and you see oil came down. It's coming down, and you're like, we still have the same problem. We still have the same amount of people, almost about the same amount of companies and people using the same amount of oil. Why is it there is a problem with oil? All right. What in the world happened here to my broadcast? I was saying right. Okay, I was just looking at something here. All right. So why did oil all of a sudden come down? That's because the international big bankers and the people with the big bucks, the institutions, are basically selling the oil. All right. They may have an inside. They may have something in the inside. Maybe somebody's going to open up a new refinery, or maybe it's just them manipulating oil, and actually they invested oil at a very low rate, and they're basically profit taking is what they're doing. They're taking their profit off the table. All right, to lower at the same time they lower the price of oil, and then again they're going to pump up oil with news and all kind of manipulation that they're going to put out to get people to reinvest in oil so they can pump it up and then dump it again. It's pump and dump. All these markets are pump and dump. All these markets for the big institutional and bankers, big super banks, and extremely rich people out there that have organizations that dump and pump all these commodities and stock markets and all that. So you're not in a game that is fair. This is not a fair game. You're in a game that is very unfair. All right. So what you got to do is you got to have an idea what are these big bankers doing. Let me go look at here because I got cotton here, but cotton is hitting a resistance down here at the bottom, but you can see where it's making a slight move right now. Cotton is making a little bit of move here. And you see there's a candlestick right there that has actually moved a little bit. All right. So we don't know if that could be the beginning of something here, where the cotton actually comes down a little more. Now, cotton in general has come up. Has come from down there, from way down there. All right. You see where the price of cotton was all the way down here. All right. And you can see where it just kept pumping and pumping and going and going and going and going and going. All right. So, and this is and before that, let's see if we go back here on the map here. You see where it's way down there also. So we're looking at here, we had it at a 0.90, looks like a 90, around 0.96, 0.97 around there. And now we have cotton all the way up to today, where we're actually showing $1 in 0.02. Is what you're showing here on cotton. All right, so it has moved up. All right, so but you see the kind of drops here. You see this very sharp rise in price of cotton. Now it can also have a very sharp drop on cotton. Again, pump and dump, pump and dump. Think about it that way. Do not think about they feed you. One minute they're feeding you positive news about growers of cotton and how things are great are doing, and next moment they're feeding you a bunch of malarkey saying that everything has broken down. They can't get the cotton to they're saying the logistics and all this is basically a pump and dump game. All right, so what we're doing is you're making money off the pump and dump. Just look at it that way. You're making money off pump and dumps. That's what you're making money. Okay, that's what you're making on all the stock market and all trading is pump and dump. Even in the forex market, which is probably more manipulated than all the other markets. All right, they're just pumping and dumping. You're kind of figuring out what is their pump and dump game. All right, what game is behind that? All right, so you gotta see what's going on with that. Right now, cotton is not a way to go with here. We cannot go with cotton unless you want to sell cotton. It's too risky to sell because they could actually bring it down a little bit more, and then all of a sudden they pump it back up. And it's hitting there is hitting some resistance there at the bottom, at that price where it's at right now. So cotton is not. Let me go check oil again, and see where oil is at to see if it actually moved any. Let me go back to oil here. Oil still shows that it's in the middle. It's still at the middle part here, between the two resistance. And let me see what else do we got here that we can possibly work with. Let me see what else we got. I don't think we have wheat here on this one. It might be something we cannot trade on this platform. Yeah, I don't see that we're able to trade wheat here. Alright, and coffee's not. Really, coffee's available? I'm not sure if coffee's available here for trading. Hey, we're gonna get some coffee, man. Blue 6, gonna get some coffee here. It seems like it could be available coffee here. Let me see what the coffee is doing here. Hang on a sec. I got wheat. I think I didn't put the coffee symbol here. Yeah, I didn't do it. See what else we got available for us. We got platinum. I don't have that one. Cotton, we got copper. Let me go back to copper and see what copper is doing. Copper is still in the middle of the entire thing here. It has not moved. Yeah, everything is tradable here. Blue 6 asked me about coffee. Yeah, if coffee is in the right place, you can trade it. The thing is about when you get into these trades, when you get into anything commodity trading, it's what they're doing with the pump and dump game. This is what you want to pay attention to, is what are they doing with the pump and dump. Things that go up really fast usually they'll come down really fast. They'll come down really fast. Going fast up usually means it's going to come down really fast. So you got to be prepared for that. And you can't get into the market. Hopefully, it's going to come down. It may come down, but maybe who knows how long before it comes down. And it locks up your investment. If you're on a margin call, you have a marginal account. You can get a margin call if you run out of the money. Because as it goes up, your margins are going, you're losing more and more. As it goes up or down, depending on how you put your bid. Hang on a second. how did you set yourself up? It can go up or down. So that's, you got to be careful with that. All right, and you can lose all your account in one sitting in any of this. All right, so that's what you don't want to do. So right now we are looking at a movement. Here we are. We may actually be looking at something here on copper. All right, let me go put my copper back up here, because we may actually be looking at a movement here on copper. All right. Oh, yeah, Blue Six. Yeah, thanks a lot, Blue Six, for helping out with the little donation that you made there. I appreciate that. Yeah, it did help me get some coffee. Okay, so I got some coffee, man. But actually, I'm drinking some soda right now. At this time, actually, I'm getting some soda. But we're looking at copper. Okay, here we go. Okay, I think we may have actually something we can put together now on copper. All right. Let's see where it goes here. Well, I can see where copper is hitting. Let me get the resistance out here where I'll tell you where we're at. We may actually be putting something on copper here soon. All right, copper is hitting a bit of resistance here. Let me, why does it do that? I don't know. I just want I just want part of that bar. I don't want the whole thing. I want to be able to move the bar. So up here, the cotton is hitting a resistance. Not cotton, sorry. This is copper. Copper is hitting a bit of resistance up here. But you can see where the candle, the wick has actually hit the resistance. And this was this is an area, a bit of resistance. But here's the thing is, copper has been moving up. I would like to get it. I really would like to. It'd be more safer, since you already got a momentum moving up here, a trend that is actually moving up. A little bit more safer if you got it down here, but you can get into it up here and do a little. Let me see what the price of this we're looking at here. If I was going to sell some copper, see where we're at here on copper. Hang on a second. Okay. Right now, this is actually suggesting that I should buy like around $8,000. And that's, this $11,000 account here is a demo account. $8,000 would be crazy to get into it. All right, so you have to lower down what you're going to buy here on cotton. And I got it down to, I will say go down. I mean, you do what you want, but I'm just saying what I will do here, just to be a little on the safe side. I'm probably looking at $2,000. Here's what I'm going to look at as an investment. You can see how is it falling here? How is it moving up now? Because it's hitting the resistance, bouncing off that resistance. All right. Not going for it yet. Not at this moment. We're going to have to wait, because that even though it's bouncing down, it does not give me the candlestick. Now maybe we have the right candlestick, but I'm not too happy with it, with that candlestick. Hang on a second. It still could go up, so I would not get into copper at this moment in time. All right. Now here's the thing about this: if you're doing this as a beginner, you're not getting the picture I'm getting. Trust me, this is from people I did this many years ago, and it has to do with experience on candlesticks and wicks and resistance and volatility. It's a whole bunch of things that are running through my head at the same time. It's like a computer, right? So I'm not right now. I don't see the candlestick that I'm looking for right now on there, and there's a possibility that it could go up even further. All right, so even though it's bouncing off a resistance, I wouldn't get into it now, even if it means that I might lose a trade because I didn't get into it and it ended up going down. I'm just not happy with it right now. All right, so it's not a place that I will get into at this moment. You see how it was red? Red was indicating that it was moving down, and now you see the candlestick started to move. It started to turn blue, and that means it's moving back up, just like I thought. Okay, it was giving you a bit of a false candlestick there, the red. Here comes another red candlestick. Still, I'm not quite convinced that this is the movement up on here, even though it is hitting a resistance level up there. So we're waiting off here to see if we're going to get in here or not. You see it coming down a bit? No, I'm not totally convinced on it. All right, that this is my. Now, if you're going up here, you see the. Let's see if I can stretch this out. All right, there you go. You see the up here, that's the resistance up here. Still below the resistance. It did bounce off the resistance and then it came back down. But as you can see, this is not convincing me that this is going down. If this red candlestick was below the previous high, down here somewhere, below this block, all right, that will be more convincing to me. But you see, there it goes. It's moving up. So you see, moving up. So I'm not convinced to get into that right now. I will hold off and don't get into that at this second. So we're still going to have to wait here to see. It's getting to the area that I will be interested in selling, but not at the moment. Not the way it's moving. Okay, it could still go up here before it makes a sell. Before it makes the correct sell or a real opportunity to sell short term and get out. All right, make some money and get out. That's all. If you're gonna, the way I'm doing it here today is trying to get some money and get out. All right. But here we go. Still, you see it there. It's still moving up. Now it's going to start hitting. It's going to be banging off that resistance here. And we got to see if it's going to break through the resistance, or if it's going to go back. All right. Now it has been breaking through resistance. All right. Down here there was a resistance and it blew through it. Down here there was a resistance and it blew through it. Down here it came down and then it went back up. There was a bit of resistance here and actually blew right through it. So it's blown through quite a few resistance here. And the last, you could say, less than 24 hours here. It has gone through quite a few resistance. We're looking at 5-minute candles here. So if you do the math here, it's not even been that long. It's a couple hours ago. It has been on an upward swing. All right, it's not giving you this downward swing yet. All right, and now we're getting up here to the. We're now at the resistance level here. So we got to start wondering what are these Illuminatis and what these bankers are up to here. All right. Why is it that they're pumping it up? Now the story on copper is that the Chinese, because of all their lockdowns in China, their manufacturers have not been open. So they're not buying copper as much as they were, let's say, 2 months, 3 months ago. All right. Now, the reason that copper seems to be moving up is because they believe it's because manufacturers in China the people have gone back to work and the manufacturers are reordering copper. And since they're reordering copper, the price of copper has been once again moving upwards. All right. Now that I can tell you, there are pumps and dumps. They have news that pumps and dumps this. All right. Long-term investment on copper. If you got a margin account that can support the long-term investment, you might be okay, but it's risky. All right. On these kind of stuff. The big cats here, they are dumping and they're pumping and dumping and they're doing the trading within hours and some within minutes. They're in out. All right, is what they are. You're looking at major money being pumped and dumped here. All right, so you got to be careful when you're doing this stuff because it could start moving up and it could be quite a while. It could be months before it moves down to the direction you want to. And you could be, if you have a margin account, you can actually be, you can have a margin call. And they could close your account. All right, I mean you can run. You're out of money. It's all gone. So you got to be extremely careful. Now you see where the price. That's why I didn't see. I was down here when I seen it looks kind of good, and you seen this fake baloney. I can call it the baloney candlestick, and you can see it boom, 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 3 in a row movement upwards. All right, so it's still not ready to come down. All right. The good thing about it is when you get it to this point is they're going to pump it. All right, they're going to pump it to a level, and then they're going to want to drop it down. This is where they're going to make their money because they're buying down here, and they're selling up here somewhere. Thing is, how far are they going to let it go up before they have this little dump? Remember, this to them is different than you and me. Most common people here, you're investing, $1,000, $2,000. They're not. They're investing $200,000, $2 million, $20 million on these little short moves, and the amount of capital that they're going to be making is huge. All right, on these little pumps and dump. For you, no, for you, you're screwed. All right, because you're going to lose your account. They know they got pretty much an endless supply of money. All right, these institutions. All right, so here we go. We have the we have it now hitting the resistance level. It's actually blown through the resistance level because the resistance level is right around here. So it's actually gone through the resistance level. Let me see if I can shorten the line there a little bit so you can see it. So it's gone through the resistance level and it continues to go. So we're not doing that. Now it is showing that it is building up more resistance. There's another resistance level up here. So it's building, you can see another layer of resistance. All right, so it's like saying people are, it's like saying we're not, there's not enough buyers out there for this price. All right, so it's running into that resistance of not enough buyers to buy. All right, and the pressure is on to sell. All right, but they're the ones pumping and dumping, so we're going to see how far are they willing to go here before they move it down. All right, so we're still looking at that. See what kind of stunt they're going to pull on here. Now let me look down and see what the previous stunts have been on here. And it goes back, they actually had it sideways for quite a while. And today they decided to move it up. Okay, here they go. It's still blowing through the resistance level. Alright, so this basically, it's almost like saying you're adding another, maybe another line here. Alright. So there's another resistance level right around here that is coming up to. Alright. So it blew through this one down here. It ended up over here. It's now pushing towards it. But now you have this red candlestick. Let's see what it does now. Okay. Are they going to bring it down? Is this their move? Alright. They already have gone through this resistance. I don't know. It may not be what they want. They may end up here somewhere before they drop it. It's still kind of close to this resistance. Let's see what they want to do here. So we're watching the red candlestick here to see what's it going to do next. All right, is it going to come? Is it going to continue to come down, or is it going to? What's it going to? Actually blowing. It's beginning to come down below the resistance that was there before. Let's see what they want to do. I call this the two towers. All right, when you see these big lines like this. Over here you got two lines here and two lines over here, and you see these tall lines, those are two towers. Alright, so the two towers, sometimes if there's right now a big red right here, and maybe that's going to me will be an indicator that it's going to fall. Alright, they're going to drop it for a little bit. Alright, those are the two towers. So comment, you see the two tower pattern, two towers right here, two towers right there. See if I find you more two towers here. Alright. Sometimes they're not as big as that. They'll be like short little towers, but they're still longer than the usual. Here's a short one. That's not one. I don't know if I can consider that stuff. But they are. Sometimes they're just side up the same. They're like the same size, and you'll see the opposite. You'll see like an opposite mirror size. There you go, buffering. Yeah, I can't do nothing about the buffering. It is what it is, people. I can do absolutely nothing about buffering. Alright, sorry about that, Blue Six. Alright. Alright. And I hate when I have buffering because I'm trying to explain something here important and you get this buffering. Let me see where we're at. I'm trying to get my hang on a second. See how bad the buffering is. Where is my my stuff here? I can't find it. Dang it. There we go. There we go. Let's see how bad the buffering is. On my side, it's actually showing green. You may have buffering, but it's coming from something else, if you know what I mean. Alright. So here we go. Here we go. There's been a drop right there. So I'm really going to consider about buying it here. Not yet. Just some things I do not see comfortable with right now. There's stuff here that I'm not too comfortable with about buying on it. That will actually discourage me from buying at this moment. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean your candlesticks could actually drop here, down here. You could end up buying, and you could probably end up maybe you'll end up getting a profit on this one. All right. The thing about it is the trend is working against the trend. So this is what is unnerving me. You could say that this is going against trend. All right. That's why I don't see, and because you're such a tight budget, $11,000 for somebody may see a lot, but for this kind of a market, $11,000 can go within seconds. All right. So it would not be for me, even though I see that dropping like that, it's where I'm looking at trend, and the trend is upwards. We have an upwards trend here. Let me show you what I mean. All right, see if I can get this one here to corroborate here. All right, we have an upward trend here. And this is working against it. You're actually, it's like you're trying to swim against the current. All right, on this. This would be not a good idea right now to go up against an upper trend. Especially there is some volatility right now in the copper market. All right, so they could be right now pumping and dumping. What they're doing is they're pumping it. Here's the thing about the way these manipulators work. All right, they manipulate news and they manipulate what comes out of a certain a comedy. All right, to pump it and dump it. But they invest on both sides of the table. And when they want to get something to move up or down, they will even risk some funding on it to get people to jump on board the train to go in the direction they want you to go. And of course, right away, they start pulling their money out. You think that it's going to move up because they're the ones who pump. They started to pump the market in that direction, upwards. All right, and then at one time they'll get to an area where they want to move the market downwards, so they'll start selling to get you to sell. All right, and they pretty much figure it out. See, they have data that you don't have. They have the kind of data you and me are not going to have. They know everybody who's out there. They know who is asking, who are putting the bids and ask for this market. All right, so they know the amount of people, the amount of ask, and the amount bids they're being put out there. They know how many calls and many puts are out there for those doing the options. So they know the market. They know how much interest there is in selling, how much interest there is in buying. So then they use that data to pump and dump in one direction or the other, and they know they can spook the market by big giant candlesticks one way or the other, and they can get the common investor that doesn't have this kind of data will then jump on board, think, oh look, that's the way it goes, and actually that was not their plan. Their plan is to pump and dump. Their plan is to make money off you. That's what it is. All right. So these are just tools. Would it be gold, silver, or platinum? This is this tool for the manipulators to use to pump and dump markets and make money off it. And you're there thinking, oh, because this gold is going to be going up. Yeah, gold has been going up for many, many years, but you see it goes up and down. They're the ones pumping and dumping, pumping. Eventually, they can't go against something that's already being bought by the general public. All right, so they're going to end up screwing themselves, so they have to give it up. But in the meanwhile, they're pumping and dumping in the direction they think that's moving right now. All right, so here we go. The copper has moved up. It has moved down, and it does show two towers here. All right, and now it's coming down, but it may recover down here. Around down here, it may start to recover and move back up again. All right. When it starts to move up, you're a little bit safer at that point, all right, because the trend is upwards. It's an upward trend, all right. So you might be okay, possibly to make an investment in it. Now, it's all, I will say, go on your demo, practice your demo first before you know it. Learn and understand this is not a fair market. You're not playing a fair game, and there's a lot of BS coming out when it comes to pumping up, all right. All right, so look at your trends, see what direction your trend is heading in at the moment you're going to invest, and also know that trends can change. All right, trends are not going to last forever. They'll get to a point where they're going to change the trend on you. Trends can sometimes change on news. They'll pump some news out one way or the other, and that's when you'll notice a change on trend. All right, whether it be stock market or whether it be FOREX market or commodity markets, whatever the deal is. Be aware of news. All right. So here we go. We're I can see where that candlestick did not go underneath the other one, and now you see this happening here. Now you see you see a possibility here because this one is now beginning to buck the trend. Okay, it's actually not buck the trend. It's actually moving here. Let's see what happens where the we may be looking at. Well, before we were looking at a sell, but I'm actually not. I'm not convinced with the sell. And what I'm afraid is not going to be a deep enough sell, which you can make a profit, and you end up being screwed out of it. A couple of dollars there. All right, so the trend has been an upward move. We've got to see if it's actually going to continue to follow that trend. Now, there are other indicators that I have that is not shown on here. This is just their indicator. It's not even the one I use. All right, that is showing the trend up on an upward move. There has been no change on trend at this moment. All right. So we want to float, not go against the flow. Okay, you gotta learn that one. Don't go against the flow because you may get burned. You may get lucky. You might make some money by going against the flow, but you can also get burned by going against the flow. All right, and we'll see what's going on. We'll see what's going on here. Is the candlestick is still not sure. They're not sure if they're going to actually pull it up. They haven't gone over this. There is a bit of a downwards resistance down here at the bottom. You'll see it here. You'll see a resistance here, and there's another resistance down here. All right, you see that one there. You see that one here. It could be trying to make a third resistance bottom. Not a resistance, a support level. Resistance is up here, but you got a support level down here and a support level down here. All right, so it could be making a whole brand new support level. It hasn't totally convinced me on the support level. All right, I'm not totally, you could say, in with that support level. I'm still waiting for a couple more things on there, but let me see something here. Let me change this to a buy and see what it looks like. All right, change it over to a buy. Okay, I think it changed it over to a buy. I'm not sure if it changed it over to a buy. All right. That's for a buy there. I got buy down here, so maybe we're gonna hold off here before we make the buy here. This is gonna take a while. You just can't jump into trades. You jump into trades, you can get burned. All right, blue 6, don't be jumping into trades. All right. Hang on a second. Now, another thing is that we have to keep in mind that in around 2 minutes, I believe it's around 2 more minutes, it's when the UK stock market opens up. They open up on their time. It's around 8 o'clock in the morning, I believe, is when they open up. So this is every time you have a trading session open up, like the European session, or the American session, or the Asian section, you got to be aware that there's a lot of volatility comes into the market. All right, so you see a lot of prices fluctuating up and down. All right, and it also starts to, you see more traders coming into the market, and in stuff like FOREX, commodities, you'll see more people buying and selling, and things move up a little faster. And during the Asia section, it's slow. It's a slow session. All right, there's not a lot of volatility, and you see sometimes you see the market kind of going sideways, and a lot of the a lot of stuff is not even open. Nobody's trading that certain kind of stuff. Okay, if it's out there. All right, there's stuff that doesn't get traded only when the Chicago board opens up, and then you'll see it trading on certain commodities that are being traded. All right. So here we go. We're still waiting to see in what direction it's going to take. It has hit that resistance and is holding still on that. Not the resistance, on the support level down here. Is still holding. All right. This is an indication that it could be a possibility. The longer this continues here, it's going to make a change on the upward move. Now, what I don't like is what I see here. All right. Let me see if I can move it. I hate moving this bar around. It's this bar here on this platform is hard to grab and move it. What is wrong with this bar? Alright. See, it didn't move a whole lot. Alright. On here. And you want to see you want to see what it hits, like down here resistance, and it moves a big chunk, and hits a resistance down here and it moves a big chunk. You want to see that. But when you see this kind of where it moved up not a lot over that the last resistance, you kind of wonder about that. All right, and now you see where there is a little bit downward. Now you see it's actually blowing through the. It's beginning to blow through the support level. All right, this is because now you see what I mean about the markets opening up. The market just, I'm sure, just opened up in Europe, and now you see the volatility. You see how fast that came down, and right at the hour of opening, you can say, and now you see this movement here. A lot of people wonder why is that moving so fast now. Bad, it's possibly because one of the markets is opening up. All right, so they moved it down, but down here at this bottom right here at this here, there is a resistance low down here. All right. It's just, I don't. Blue Six asked me about dividends. I don't dwell too much with the dividends. I don't. Kind of loosely about information about dividends. I wouldn't know what to tell you about dividends. If you ask me about stocks or you ask me about some of the options or calls or stuff like that, might maybe help you in that. But when it comes to dividends, companies can change dividends all the time. And I don't get much into it. I like to help you on that, Blue Six, but I just don't. I don't get much into it, man. Into the dividends of any of this stuff. Into that, and a lot of times I'll see like the forex stuff. Now you got to remember that yours truly needs. If you're out there listening to me, do some donations because I'm not investing in the market right now. I'm just giving you the. This is a demo, is what you're looking at here. And if I had money to invest in, I'll do some investment in the market. But it takes a lot of money to get into commodities and stock market, and it's really kind of wow. But you can. This is going to. Hopefully, this will help you understand. Get people here, people that trying to learn more about this, that you can make some money on different markets, but you have to have a different mindset for it, not the mindset that they want to sell you on to make it sound like these markets are fair. These markets are not fair. They're very manipulated markets. All right, and just because something is gold or copper or there's a car maker out there that's very popular doesn't mean that this is going to always be up or some other direction you want. They manipulate. This is all about making money. This is all about institution pumping and dumping. If you keep putting that in your head, pumping and dumping, that's what they're making. Gold prices can move up slowly by the years. It can be creeping up, and that's because supply and demand. There's something, but supply and demand can take a long time to develop, especially on something like gold. Okay, and you gotta wait. More and more people start buying gold. So here we go. The opening that we had in Europe, you can see this line right here. So that's the opening, where they pump it down, and then now they realize that we should be going with the trim, and now they're pushing it back up. That's the European market opening jitters, you could say, where you're going to have selling and buying, selling and buying, selling and buying. And sometimes they'll do is they'll go against the trend, and you'll see this is when people get really nervous. This is when accounts get blown too. Some people that have Martian accounts can get blown during any kind of opening. The European Open, the U.S. Open, and even the Asian Open sometimes can screw up your account. So you got to be careful when they open the accounts, and sometimes also when they close. Some of the close, like when the New York Stock Exchange closes, or the Chicago Board options close, or the European market close, there's also some volatility you're going to get during those closings. So that's where you got to be careful with your stuff. So as you can see, it bounced off the support level down here. The European European Open wasn't really strong enough to push it even further down. So it's kind of bounced off there. We've got to see what happens in the next 5-minute candlestick to see what direction is going to take here in the next 5-minute candlestick, because now what you get is a whole new bunch of a set of players coming. It's like having a football game, and you're now in the on the second inning, all right, and you decided to put in some new players, or a basketball game, and you're now in the second quarter or third quarter, and you want to bring in some new players, and this is what's happening right now with the European. Okay, now they're going to see things from a different angle, all right. So this is what you got to wonder: where are they going to take the game to now? Okay, are they going to be moving it up, or are they going to be moving it down? Because this is different players coming into the game right now. All right, so this is what we're going to look now. The entire, for the last, you could say, several hours, you see this trend develop. All right, doesn't mean they won't take it down. The European traders may decide, you know what, we're going to take it down. All right, so now we got to see what direction they want to take the market to here. All right, as they open up on this market. All right, you can see I have not put a bid on any direction here because I'm seeing what's developing here. I also see now up here, I see that the trend is beginning to change. The trend is beginning to go flat. All right, so the trend was going up this way, where you see the trend right here with this line here. If I can pick it up, you see the trend going up this way. Now the trend's beginning to go flat. All right, so that's basically what it's doing. It's going this way. That's what you got here. Is the trend is beginning to develop here in this direction. Around this direction is what you got a trend now. So you got a trend that was going up. You got now that's beginning to go sideways. All right. So now there's a possibility that the European section does not agree with moving copper up. That they believe that maybe the copper should be going down, and you're going to have the buyers. They have the manipulators in Europe. All right. Are going to start saying, you know what, it's time for us to change the direction of the market. All right. And these are the ones that are going to start coming in. And you're going to see, like over here. All right. If you probably go back to, you see this probably when one of the markets open up, then you see this big movement down here. So at one time it was going down. There was a trend going down. And what you have is a slow buildup of prices going up where they pump and dump. This is a pump. That was a classic pump and dump. They pumped it up and they dump it. Now they're pumping it up. They already pump it up. Possibly for today, they may have pumped it up. The problem is, it's not going to, long term, that's like a long term, a little bit longer term investment. All right, but for short term, they may pump it down. But these all, every little peak that you see there, and I'm going to tell you if you're a beginner, as I open this up, every little peak that you see there, if you don't have the money in the market, it's a margin killer. It will kill your margins. It could wipe out your account. These peaks can wipe out your account. Okay, if you're not investing big money, those peaks can wipe you out. All right. So now we got a sideward motion here. Why in the heck is that line so damn big? Let me see if I can shorten this line. Okay. I don't know what happened to my other line. My other line's still there. I wish we can change the color of this line. This white doesn't agree with me too much. Yo, dude. Change the line here. There you go. So we got a bit of a sideward motion is what we got. There's a good possibility that we could be seeing some downward moves here. All right. On here, I gotta wait for some indicators to actually, because I got multiple indicators. You don't see them there. Those are not the indicators I use. This is a common indicator for this program, for this trading platform. But that's not what I use. I don't use those indicators. All right, but my indicator, a couple indicators are right now showing sideward motions for me. All right, there's a possibility that what you're going to be seeing here is a sideward motion for a little bit, and then you're going to start seeing a trend going downwards. All right, they may have pumped it for the, let me see if I can shorten this up here so you can see what I mean. All right, you see where they pump it up, but you see all this in here, where they pump it up, dump it, pump it up, dump it, pump it up, dump it, which each dump, it was greater than the other one, 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 greater than the other one. And then somewhere like going back around 24 hours, they went sideways on the market. So what you have here is a sideward motion. And then it went down a little bit, then they pumped it back up, and now you see the beginning of a sideward motion here. All right. But if you're going to be getting into the market, getting in and out, getting in and out of the market, it could be an opportunity because there's a lot of good volatility that's pumping and dumping. All you got to do is try to get it right. All right. Try to get at least a little bit of trend going in one direction before you decide to go with it. All right. And look at the candlesticks where you're at. All right. So we're at here at the candlesticks here. Let me try to blow this up because we cannot see the candlesticks at that range. I'm going to get you the candlesticks here. Get them candlesticks. There you go. All right. So you see, I think Blue 6 fell asleep. Yeah, like Blue Six asked me about Dinaments. I wish Blue Six you asked me about other things. Dinaments. I can't pronounce. I just don't get into it, man. I really don't dwell in the Dinaments. Things I don't get much into it. I think everybody's got their own little investment vehicles. I don't have an investment vehicle period because I don't invest in the market though. I'm doing this. I'm actually have this channel to see if I can get some funding for myself to invest in the market. And matter of fact, I haven't even run an ad on here today. But I'm going to run a little ad shortly. You have a QR code that you can use to make a donation if you're out there. Please make a kind donation. If you're learning anything here today, make a kind donation. You can go to the description box below and you can donate on PayPal. Or you can even, if you got Bitcoins, you can even donate with Bitcoins and help me out here. I would like to get into the markets. Unfortunately, I don't do market stuff. Been more like 10 years, but lately I put up this channel because I heard so many people having so many problems with the market so being so volatile. I want to help out the people. It doesn't mean because I have been away from market activity in 10 years that I don't understand the market or don't know what things are happening. I keep an eye on it, even though I don't have the money to invest in it, but I still keep an eye on the markets. All right, and I know you could say I have a lot of experience understanding markets. You could say. All right, so I'm beginning to watch now what a possible turnover here on a downward. We may end up coming into this one here. The thing is I got to see if it's going to be a concrete drop here. I don't like what I'm seeing from the candlesticks at all. I'm not happy with what I see from the candlesticks. The candlesticks right now are not really giving you any directions. All right, the candlesticks is giving you sideways motion. That's what it's giving you. All right. Oh, okay. He's using the company as an example. Okay. No, I'm not sure. Like I said, dividends. Like I say, you're asking me if you should buy the dividends have enough, like 10 plus or 30 plus years. I tell you the truth, I don't dwell too much in dividends. I don't even dwell, and you can say almost nothing on dividends. I'll have to look into it. Maybe I'll look in to help you out a little bit. I'll look into it and see what I can get you any info on that, on the dividends on there. Usually I look at stocks, options, and commodities and forex markets, but I don't get a lot into the dividends and stuff like that. There's a lot of investment vehicles out there you can get to. Right now we're just watching a sideways movement here on copper. I want to see something because copper's gone sideways on me again. We're back in the middle here. So let me go over here to oil and see where we're at, because copper it's just right now, it looks like it's about to make a change. It looks like they're about to change copper in one direction, in another direction. So let me go look at here at crude oil and see what we're getting on oil here. Okay, crude oil. Let's see where we're at here on crude oil. All right, crude oil. Crude oil it's actually been very explosive here in the last couple of hours. It's more than, not even then, the last half an hour around there. It's actually made quite a few movements here on crude oil. It is moving, does have an upward direction, an upward trim. The thing about oil, is when you know, these are commodities, the cotton, oil, gold, silver, all this stuff out here, natural gas, you got to get to know them. You got to get an understanding for them. All right, so even though oil looks like it's really been moving on a trend upwards, yesterday it did the same thing, the day before that. It has an up and down, up and down, up and down. This is where you got to get to know. You should only try to get to understand a couple economies. Let's say oil, gold, and maybe natural gas, and try to get an understanding for them instead of trying to understand them all. All right, because you start seeing a pattern for them. They each seem to have their own pattern. It's because of the traders behind it. The institutions are behind this. All right, they seem to have a bit of a pattern to them. So even though oil is up, all right, right now oil, the trend is up. All right, based on what you see from previous activity on oil, look what you see. You see this, you see all this down, you see all this pumping up and pumping down, pumping up, pumping down, pumping up, pumping down. Now you see pumping up, pumping, and this is what you're going to be seeing on oil. All right? This kind of keeps you guessing. What the heck are they going with all this? So there are opportunities here, but you got to keep an eye. This is where you really got to keep an eye on candlesticks when you come into oil investment, into gas, natural gas, and gold. Okay? Some of the other stuff like cotton, on cattle and cattle feed, it's not as crazy as some of this other stuff is. All right, but right now oil is on up. The candlesticks are moving up, and we're going to continue to monitor oil here. But they may end up doing like what they did in the last 24 hours. Is they pump it up. As you can see, there's a giant pump up here. You see this up here? You see this blue line here? Look at where it goes. All right, it went from $92 and around 58 cents, and it went as high as, on just that blue, well, you see it's all blue. You're talking about one after another. It blew right through all the resistance. And it got all the way up there to around 93, I believe it was like 93.59, something like that. So it really had a good time screwing up people's account. Okay, people they were actually selling oil at that point in time. There are Martian calls, I guarantee you, on that one there. That's a killer. That is a market killer for people with low margins, a small account. That will kill your account. This one here did the same thing. All right, because it doesn't almost give you no time to even react. If you're away from your desktop, or you're away from your phone, whatever you're using, whatever stuff that you're using to invest, you don't see this, and you got a small account, and you did the mistake of heavily investing on a sell of oil, you probably lost all your money right there. All right, so you can have you have to have alerts set up. You should be able to also be able to set up where you can exit the market on a loss of profit, and not try to lose the entire account. That's money management. You got to learn something about money management for all this, and how to set up limits and all this kind of stuff. All right. So here we go. What do we got here? This is oil right now. Oil is pumping it up. Oil is pumping. All right. Now again, market did open up a while ago. Now you see this volatility here ending up on oil. All right, and oil continues to pump up. Now I don't know how far they're going to take this oil. If they're going to take, I don't think they're going to take oil over for $94 today. Oil may just be being pumped up, and it's mainly these institutions pumping oil. All right, they're pouring money into it to get the investors to pour money into it. They may have started it out down here, and what you see here is almost like a panic. It will be almost like a buyer's panic, where buyers want to get in because they believe that oil is going to go up there to the sky. Maybe it goes right back to 100. All right, so you see this happening here. All right, so that little gain going on, it was started possibly by the institution down here pumping it up, getting the market to go in that direction. All right, so people's name panic. Oh my God, the oil's going to go up. I got to get into it now. I got to go into it now. And they can start getting into it, and it start going up because more and more people start going up. But it's like a pyramid scheme, because the ones making the money is the ones down here. The ones that come in here, maybe those will take a dump right here. All right, maybe down here we just say, oh well, it's time to go. It's time to pump it down. Because the institutions, they already are making their money. They're the ones who pumped it up. So they got in down here, they pumped it up a little bit, spent a little money, and now they're waiting for everybody to start pouring in money, thinking that oil is going to go back to 100. All right. So right now we're reaching at around, oil right now is at $93.74. That's where we're at now with oil. And it continues to move up. All right. This is what the European session has done. All right. Now you see somebody's beginning to throw on the brakes. I still have not invested on anything because there's too much volatility going on right now here. I'm not comfortable with anything I see here at this moment. Whether it be cotton, whether it be copper, whether it be whatever. I don't see anything under that I want to get into. All right. Let me look at copper one more second here. See if it's settled down. Copper is going sideways. It's on a sideways motion. It's actually right in the middle right now. Let's see if they're going to change copper. If copper actually going to go. Okay, copper's decided to go. Let me get in copper. I'm going to get in copper right now, and I'm going to do a sell on copper. So we're going to do a sell on copper. All right. And let me see if I lower the price here because I got too much. I want to get at least, I want to only get around maybe $1,500 in copper here. I'm not going to get in a big investment into here because it's really, really volatile, but I think they're changing the market on copper. So we're going to do a about $1,600 investment, and we got to do a sell on cotton. All right. I almost did a buy. I didn't want to do a buy. I want to do a sell on copper. All right, we're doing a sell on copper, $1,600. Okay, we put in a sell on copper, $1,600. Let's see what we got here. You have sold. Okie dokie. So there we go. We got a sell on copper right now. Okay, I have a prop right now. I got a PNL of $18 minus. Okay, we're on the red $18. We're right now on the red $13. All right, so it's improving. Okay, we're on the red $9. Okay, we're still on the red $9, $13 on the red. Let's see how it moves now. Let's see if we can get to the green. Okay, so copper continues to fall. Is in the right zone. Is in where I want it. Copper right now. It seems like they're going to change the direction of copper. All right. So we're going to see now what copper does now. Hang in there, people. Now, a lot of times when you buy right off the bat, you're on the red. That's just normal because there's the bid and ask for coppers, okay, on the buy and sell, okay, will screw you up. You know, it could screw you up. Depending on the amount you buy, it could be $100, it could be $30, it could be $50 because of the bid and ask. Mainly, so you're gonna more or less you're gonna end up with a negative right off the bat. All right, but copper is beginning to fall here. We're at $9 here in copper. Okay. We're going to continue to watch here copper to see if we can start going into the green zone here on copper. Okay, copper fell down a little bit more here. We're waiting to see what else it does on the P&L on copper. Okay, it's hanging around 9 minus, 9 plus, but I'm okay on copper because copper I didn't get it really up high. But it's okay because it's still in that middle session. It's still the support level. It hasn't reached support level yet. Okay, copper now is down at a $4 minimum, $4 minus. So copper continues to drop. And let's see if it continues to go in the proper direction here. So we're going to continue to watch here. It's going to have possibly in the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, there's going to be a downward. It's going to be probably a little bit upward movement, maybe. It's pretty sharp. It's moving pretty sharp downwards here. Okay, where we're at $18 on copper. We're still on a minus here on the $18. Okay, so we're still watching here. All right, see what copper is going to do. All right, Blue Six, get your fingers crossed here, man. Get yourself some coffee, Blue Six, because we're going to make some money off copper. All right, so here we go. Where are we at? We're at 4. Okay, we're plus. Okay, we're now in plus territory. We're now at $13 on copper. Still a very large investment just to make $13. All right. So we're looking for a little bit more here. We'll want to get into at least $100 or $200 here before you make any kind of sell here. All right. So we're at $9 on. We're now up $9. We're plus. We're at plus $9. We're now at plus $4. Copper continues to fall. All right. I don't think it's going to fall a lot here. I don't like the return. What I'm seeing here, very large investment, very short return, is what I'm looking at here. If you would have had more margins, you could put more margins. You might be looking at $100, $200 return here. All right, but right now, because we're going with small money, we're up to $27 in our investment. $27 we're making so far. Okay, so we're doing good so far with this call. Okay, with this investment here. It's not a great investment, but we're doing okay. I'm watching now. I'm watching for the turn because there's going to be a turn coming up here very soon here. Okay, I got resistance. I got to sell. I got to sell. I got to get out of here. Right now, I got to sell this. So I'm going to close off right here. Close off this at $36. All right, I closed off at $36. All right, so I'm out of the trade right now. I got to get out of the trade really fast because it's about to make a move. It could go down further, and it's going down further, but it can be very risky from this point. It's gone down really fast. It's moving down really fast, which means it could change the trade on you very fast. All right, so we made not a lot of money here. We made $36. And around 2 or 3 minutes, we made $36 here. All right, and copper right now. The thing about copper is it's getting to the point where it's very possible there's going to be a buy here on copper soon. All right, but we'll leave it right there. The trade is beginning to bounce off. You could say, no, it's still going good. It's still going. The copper's still going good. All right, let's see how far they're going to take it. The thing is, as it gets down further and further down here, the volatility is going to increase, and it could change direction at any second. And you're not even going to have time to possibly put in a trade to sell your stuff before it changed so much it ended up going back to zero if you bought it up here. All right, so that's why I get my $36, whatever the deal is, and get out, because to me it's going to make a change. It just actually ran through a resistance right here. It went right through that resistance. You see where it's at right now. There's another resistance. It's a bit of it's very weak resistance is down here, and it's ran through that resistance. The heavy resistance is down here. I don't think it's going to make it down the way there. Here you got a heavy resistance all the way down here. I don't think it's going to go all the way down there. All right. I think it's going to run into some resistance right about where it's at. It's going to run into some resistance around here. Let's see how crazy, because they're crazy. They'll take it all the way down to that resistance down there. All right. All right. So they're still blowing through that resistance. Let's see if I would have stayed on it, and gamble it, you'd be looking at around $50, $70. All right, right now to sell it. I sold it at around $36 is what I sold it. I could, if I would have hung in there a little longer, but it's getting more and more riskier is what I'm trying to say. All right. All right, so it's getting a little riskier. You Blue Six, you want to help me to invest? I don't know how, but okay. All right. So here we go. Now you see, it did exactly what I'm telling you. That it was going to run into resistance. You see the long. Let me see if I can show you the long wick. It's bouncing off the long wick. It's already ran into resistance down here. This is what I was scared of. That's why you see me pulling out at $36. It's just that the problem is on a volatile market, it may not give you enough time to react, and you end up losing money. All right. Yeah, I know, Blue Six. I know about your job, and I pray that things work out back with your job and stuff, and get it going again, man. Gotta get you back over there, man. And I hope you're feeling better too, man. Here we go. It's right about there. It's running it ran into a long candlestick. Let's see how long here. The next 5 minutes are going to be in around 2 minutes from now. So we got around 2 more minutes to go here on this candlestick, and we'll see what's going to line up on the next candlestick. All right, I want to take a really fast look at my at crude oil here. See what it's doing. I knew it. I had a feeling it was going to do that. As exactly, I knew it was going to run into the resistance up there. It was moving too fast. It's exactly what it's done, and it's actually moved a little bit too fast on crude oil. I'll go to copper. Just give me a second. I'm looking at crude oil right now. And crude oil did run into some resistance up there on the top right here. Crude oil may be getting closer to where we may end up selling on crude oil, but I'm not getting into that right now. Let me go back to copper. Let me go back to copper. And copper's done what I thought was going to do. All right. Now we're doing all this live time, people. We're not cutting and pasting anything here. This is all live time, and this is what I thought copper was going to do. It ran into resistance, but this is not even the resistance. This is actually, I thought it was going to run in probably in the middle here. Okay, there's not a real clear resistance like over here. This is a clear resistance. So is this here. All right, so it ended up like in the middle. That's where it's ending up. You see the long candlestick now develop now. All right, it's beginning to develop the long the long wick. All right, with the next candlestick over, you can see did not go as far as the lowest price on that wick. All right, so it's right around here. You see the wick develop right there. So what you might see is some sideward motion right here. In the next couple minutes here, you may see some of the sideward motion here happening there on that. All right, so let me go look as it continues to move here. So for right now, we didn't make a lot of money. Copper's return wasn't really all that powerful, but it is what it is, people. All right, if I would have stuck with it, you can end up losing here because you think you're going to make it, and you end up going right back to zilch. All right. Let me go and look at here at the. We're going to be looking at. I don't like the looks of crude oil for right now. I'm not too thrilled about it. Let me see something else here. I want to look at natural gas, see what natural gas is doing. Natural gas. Where is my natural gas? Here it is. Natural gas. Hang on a second. Natural gas is doing. It's running into a bit of a. I'll put it on here on the chart so you can see it. It's running into some resistance up here. But natural gas is like oil. It can be actual natural gas. I mean, when it comes to resistance, you can if you can get it right and you know where the resistance is at, you may be able to go against the resistance. All right, but that's where you gotta get it right. All right. On the copper one, we were actually floating with the trend. All right, and then sometimes you can not resistance. You can actually go against. When I was talking about natural gas, you can go against the trend. All right, if you can get it right. But right now it's very volatile on natural gas, and oil seems to be moving along with the price of natural gas. Sometimes it moves together, and sometimes they don't. All right, going back to the copper. See where we're at on copper. And copper is going to go sideways, it looks like, for right now. Let me pull back my copper. I want to go to gold, see what gold's up to. Because when copper starts moving, you see a lot of times gold will start moving too. Let's see what's gold. Gold has come down. So we're going to go to gold here. And gold has come down. But gold's moving into a lot of the... gold's got themselves... Let me get a line up here. And you can see it pretty clear right here. What you got is you got a resistance right here at about 1,790 around there. There's a resistance for gold. Thing about gold, this is what I mean about you got to get to know the economies you're going to be investing in. The thing about gold is because it's such widely used globally. All right, and some people buy it for fashion, some people buy it for industry, some people buy it for investment, and so many different reaches that gold has. All right, that the markets, when it starts moving up, all right, when gold starts moving up or down, all right, it's a good indication that's public. It's a lot of power coming from the public. It doesn't mean that the institutions are not in it. All right, the institutions are still going to be pumping and dumping gold. All right, they're going to pump the price up, and pump the price down. Thing about these institutions, the way they do it is a lot of them don't even own that gold. Okay, so you got a lot of. If you actually had to actually give the gold that everybody invested in the stock market or in the economy markets, and actually tell them I want my gold, they're not going to get it. Because a lot of that stuff is just paper. All right, it's not the actual gold that's out there available. All right, it's money. So what you're looking at is pump. We have a price. You're betting on the price pump. That's what you're betting on here. The actual gold is not there. All right. So here we got a drop on gold. All right. And I see I'm beginning to see a little bit of a sideway motion on gold here again. Now it is running into the. Let me see if I can blow this up for you guys. Gold is running into this resistance, not resistance, support. I keep saying resistance, support level. Resistance is up here. This is a support level. So gold's running into that support level down there, and I'm not sure if it's going to bust through it. It looks like it could go through the support level. If it goes through the support level, then you're going to see more of a drop on here. It may come down here to the middle. It's what you see. And I'm seeing that it's beginning to try to push below that support level, but now we have another candlestick that begins to open up on there. And the next candlestick seems to be pointing an upward direction here. Alright, so let's see what happens on this next candlesticks here. If it's actually going to move back with the main trend. The trend here earlier on was a upward trend. But you can see where you lost. If you were investing up here, well, you look where you're down here now. I mean, if you were selling, you're okay. But if you're investing, but the thing is, that was an upward trend. This whole thing was an upward trend here. It didn't continue. It ended up dying. All right, so the trend died right there. Now, in general, there's an upward trend. If you look at it from here to here, there's a bit of an upward trend here. All right, but it's blowing through that. It's beginning to blow through that upward trend. And you have had all this wackiness happening here. And this is all part of that volatility. All right, so that's going to happen. It had a little bit going here. Looks like it was going to stay above the 1,000 and 1,700. It was 1,709 and 90. Looks like it was going to stay above that, but right now it's beginning to come below that. Gold's beginning to come underneath that. All right, and you can see where it's just beginning to blow through there. I can tell you, it's probably going to blow through. If it blows through there, it's going to do a nice long candlestick. But you may actually see gold coming down here to around 1789, around there, 17, around in this area. I don't think it's going to reach down here before they push it back up. All right, the trend's going to continue possibly down here. You already got a long trend right here. They already pumped this down. They pumped this down. This is them. This is the institutions and these super billionaires, bankers, you could say, pumping gold, the price of gold down. All right, they got you going up here with a long candlestick, and people begin to panic, and they thought, well, there's an opportunity for me to get in. This is where you gotta think. This is where your mentality's gotta think. What is this long candlestick? This might be the opportunity when you get in. All right, so they got it down. Now they got it rolling their direction. All right, and they're the ones who probably more than likely put all this into motion right here. All right, so now you're going to see where the money continues to flow downwards, where the price continues to go. Now remember, they shortened this, so they shortened the gold prices. They're making money off of this as a sale. They're making money off of this, and you see it coming down here. But it may, they're not going to keep going for a long time because they know people are just not buying, and it's just them creating the short sale. So they're not going to keep it on forever. So now you see the long candlestick now. Let me see what happened to. I want to go back to copper here, see what happened to that. If it's stable, you see it did stabilize. That's what I thought was going to happen. All right. So copper stabilizing there. We're not sure if copper is going to go back up at this point in time. If it's going to go back above this, is what I'm trying to say. It may not go above that resistance is up there. Oh man, move this up here. It may not go above that resistance for now. You may see playing a game here, is what you're seeing. Alright, I got into here because the signals was right. I had the right, you can see the right indicators telling me this could possibly, usually got multiple layers of indicators here. This is why I got into it, made a little bit tiny money, you could say, into it. And, but any kind of money you make is positive. You know what I mean? It wasn't a loss, so you're making money. So we're watching here to see what's going to do here on copper. So copper is something to watch for now. Gold, not gold, oil. I think oil is going to run into a problem. As you can see, oil is already running into some of the problems up here. All right, I think they're going to swing oil down a little bit down, possibly down half of this, and then pump it back up. So let me see what the price of sell on oil is here. Okay, Yeah, of course, they wants me to invest 8,000. If you go by their recommendation, bad idea. Don't go by that recommendation. You're gonna be really screwed on that. Bring it down. If I was going to sell oil at that rate, and I'm gonna make a sell order, I'm looking at about 1,200 here. Is what I'm looking at here. You're looking at about 10% is what you're going to be using of your resources, the money that you have on the table. All right. But you can see it's still moving sideways here. It doesn't have a strong indication. Here's the thing about this oil right here at this point. The resistance on oil, I mean the trend on oil is up. It's a upward trend. Overall, if you look at it, the trend is down. If you will see a continuous trend on here, you can almost count it from here. It's a downward trend, and you can see it is, and this will look more like a spike on prices moving up. All right, but then again, you go for even the longer picture of this, and you're going to see what? A longer trend going up. All right, so you got a long trend going up. Then you got a median trend going down. All right. Let me see if I can change that down here. And then you got that short trend now that's moving up. So you had a long trend moving up, medium down, short trend moving up. All right. So what you may have is another trend, a small trend building up here. And what I mean is what may be happening here is they're going to take the whole enchilada and turn it into a sideward motion before they decide what they want to do with it. Remember, we're thinking about what do they want to do with this? What do they want to do here? All right, so we may be looking at something like this. All right, this is actually a large trend. It looks kind of small there, but I actually have to open up the chart here better. It is a swing from around the high here, around $93.75 to the low down here, almost at 93. It's almost at 93 down here. $93 and about 2 cents. And it almost made 70 cents on that whole little movement right here. When you're looking at the amount of money you're investing in this could be a significant move. Okay, you could be making $200 or $300 or $500, $1,000, depending on how much money you put on there, on that movement right there. All right, the less money you make, the less money, of course, the less money you invest, the less money you're gonna make. All right, so right now, oil is sitting up here, but it's running into resistance. Is what it's running into. All right, I'm gonna take a small coffee break, and I'll be right back right after this. Let me get my I want to take a small little coffee. And I'm going to be right back right after this small coffee break that I take here. That small coffee break. People, do not forget to donate if you're on here, and don't forget that you can use the QR code there. You can just scan that on your mobile phone if you can. If you're on your mobile phone, well, you gotta get another mobile phone to scan it. But you can. That basically gives you the link to either PayPal or Bitcoin. There's one for Bitcoin and one for PayPal, and they'll give you the links. The PayPal, it gives you the account number on the to make a donation. On the and the PayPal gives you a link on where you can make a donation. You can use any kind of credit card, and they're pretty secure. Q code, and or you can use the Q code Bitcoin, and that will give you the account number. So you can use either one of those to make any kind of donation. If you can remember, on Bitcoin, you can only use Bitcoin to make donation for Bitcoin. You cannot put different kind of coins on Bitcoin because it's not going to work out. It's got to be a Bitcoin. And on PayPal, it takes different credit cards. You can go to that link and make a one-time donation. You don't even have to be a member of PayPal to make a donation. You can use any bank card you want to. And PayPal, as far as I know, they're pretty secure. All right, so that's what we got. Any kind of donation will be appreciated. Maybe you can put me back into business and do donations out here. Do some investment out here, but I got to do this. I'm doing basically the demo account. Here's what I'm doing. All right, so here we go. Let's see. Favorite coffee. My favorite coffee. I'm not a big. Blue Six asking me about coffee. I'm not you could say like a big type of expert drinker on coffee. I drink mostly that instant coffee. The coffee that is basically you put it into. You can put it into milk or water and just. Hot milk or water and instantly is made without a machine. I'm more like into that kind of coffee. I like it because it's a bit. You can get some good brands that are pretty sweet, and like Folgers and different instant coffee out there. Nestle makes a good one. I'm not here advertising for them. I'm not getting anything out of them, but there's some good ones there. You put it in, and that's because I'm kind of like sometimes saving time, and I don't want to sit there and brew coffee. The brew coffee is a lot better, and if you can get a nice machine, you can brew some really good coffee, or have some really buy the beans and actually it was already roasted, and you can if you can grind that, you can get it really nice. You can have really nice tasting coffee. All right, and I have tasted that kind of coffee, but for just to spare some time, you can say I'll go in there and I'll buy some of the instant coffee that you just put in a small little package, or you take a spoon. Not a spoonful. Like I won't take a spoonful because I tried to. Because of economic woes, I'm not employed, people. I'm unemployed. All right. Maybe somebody will hire me one day as their top investor for their multi-billions of dollars, and they want to invest into commodities, and they say, "Here's your account for 50,000 or 60,000. Make me money," and I can do that. So I haven't met that kind of person. All right. So, but I'm not employed. I have an injury, and that's why I'm asking for donations. But I'm out here because people are asking me. I have my other channel that I put up, that I do news, political news, and different kinds of news. And sometimes people ask me, "What about investment of this and investment of that?" And they ask me this. So you see, there's not a lot of subscribers on here because this channel actually I rebuilt the channel. And I kind of started to promote the channel lately on here. So it's going to take a while to build some subscribers on here. Some people have actually said they made money from some of the stuff that I said here. Just was a couple of videos that I made. Some people are claiming that they had made some money off of this. They left it on the commentary on the news channel of all things instead of leaving it here. All right, so they said they had made some. So if I can help, I can help on there. What are we looking at? Let me go back and I'll swing back to gold. And I want to see what gold's doing there. Yeah, gold has run into that area. Look, I haven't even moved that, and it's right there. They ran into that resistance right there. And oil's playing their little game here. See where they're going to go. Natural gas. Natural gas, very interesting on natural gas right now. Because it just actually made a good change here. Maybe an opportunity on natural gas. We may be seeing an opportunity here on natural gas. Oh yeah, we may actually see an opportunity. Did you hear that, Blue Six? I'm telling you, man, there may be an opportunity on natural gas here, Blue Six. Blue Six is like my sidekick. He's out here in the chat room all the time, and he's like a little bit of a psychic. He asks his questions, and I think it helps a lot of people because some people are shy to ask questions. So Blue Six is actually in question. Maybe one day we're doing like a live broadcast together. Around there. What do we got here? We got the natural gas is actually interesting right now, and it could actually do just. You seen how fast I got into copper? I'll say it ended up in the right direction. I seen some of my indicators pointing in that right direction, and things were beginning to fall on copper. And I say we got to make a move on copper right now. Natural gas is at that point. I'm not quite sold out. I sold out right now. I'm sold out on natural gas right now. So we're going to sell natural gas here. We're going to do a sell on natural gas. See where we're at right here. Natural gas. Okay. We're not going to sell that amount of money, and I'm going to lower that on natural gas, and we're going to sell around. We're going to sell about 2,000 here on natural gas. Natural gas, it's almost where I need it to be. So we're about to make a sell of natural gas here. Okay, remember the sell direction on here. We're going to put a sell direction, which was basically we're going to shorten natural gas. All right. See, I haven't done it yet. I haven't pulled the trigger yet because I have a feeling that we're going to get a little upward motion. Still, we're not quite on natural gas. We're almost there where I want to be on natural gas. Not 100% on natural gas to be a sell. All right, but we're very close to it on natural gas. It's also in the mid-range. It's between the support level and between. It's almost like in the middle between support level and the resistance level. It's almost like right in the middle of that. All right, and it's beginning to fall a little bit here. So let me see long term. Long term, it seems like possible they have been wanting to take it down. So we're getting very close here to a possible movement on natural gas on a downwards, giving us a little bit of a downwards trend here coming up here. Not quite sold on it. I'm not quite sold on this natural gas yet. I'm waiting for some things here to happen with some of my other indicators. They're not agreeing with me at this moment. All right. So I'm kind of waiting it out here. I don't like the candlestick where it's at. The last candlestick, did you see the last 5-minute candlestick? It's above the lowest price it was given. I don't like the looks of that. If the candlestick would have been below that, it might have been a little bit better, but I don't like it. Didn't leave a lot of wick there, so it's okay with that. But on my other indicator, it shows a long wick. This one shows a short wick. All right, so that's not good. We may be seeing some movement here on the natural gas. Okay. We're waiting to hear. We're waiting. This is you're going to shorten is what you're going to do here. You're basically instead of it's like there are on the stock market and on the it's asking me about how am I going to play this out. It's long term shorten on commodities and forex markets. In a lot of stocks in stock market, if you have the right broker, you can shorten the stock or shorten the position. And if you're on options, you can either get a call or a put. All right, on option, and you can also sell the put, and you can also buy the put, or you can also sell the call or buy the call. I normally stick to the calls. I don't do anything with the puts, either buy or sell puts. Puts can be very risky. So I will stay on the call side, and either I sell a call or buy a call. If I'm using those, if I'm in that vehicle, you can say. All right. Right now here on the economy section, okay, we can sell or buy, which we can make a profit going downwards or an upward profit. All right, long. You can go long. You can go long on gas. Long. It's the problem is that commodities is very risky with Martian accounts. If you're going to go long, because the up and downs of the volatility can kill your Martian account if you actually invested too much and you didn't use a very small percentage of your account. So you can, or the only one way you can survive if you're actually on top of your account, if you're actually monitoring your account when you're doing this, and don't leave anything, that is not being monitored by you because it could change any second. All right. So you're kind of constantly, if you've got a small, like right now, $11,000, that's not a lot of money to invest in commodities. You should be looking at least $50,000 to get into something like this. All right, to be able to make some money and still have the margins, and you're still not looking at giant chunks of investment here. If you have 50,000, okay, you may be looking at a time maybe $3,000. Dollars, maybe at the most 2,000. I mean, between 3,000, 2,000, 3,000. But you're not looking at giant chunks of investment. All right, because you want to be able to go into other stuff when you can. You can see where the natural gas is still not giving me what I want. It's playing a little bit of game with the. I'm waiting for the other candlestick to appear here, and we're down. We're about 1 minute away from the next candlestick. Let's see what the call is going to be on the next candlestick. And it's not going to be, it's going to show an upward, it should show an upward movement on the next candlestick, which means I'm not going to invest right now I'm not going to shorten this right now, not right now. I'm going to wait here a little bit to see, and I got some indicators that are not showing me this is the time to get in. If some are showing me it's getting close. It's getting like, it's almost like you could say it's getting close to making. We're going to make a sell here, but not quite. I'm not confident still with it. All right, so you see the next candlestick begin to develop there. All right, there's the next candlestick right there. Let me see if I can blow it up so you can see what I mean. All right. So you see the next candlestick here developing right there. You see what I told you was probably going to be an upward candlestick because it's right at the line here at the higher price. And it may, if you're going to get something down here, then you're going to see maybe some sideward motion here for the time being. One of my other indicators is getting very close to giving me what I want. We're very close to it, not quite on it. All right, to where I'm happy with that indicator. The support level indicator and the resistance indicators. This thing will sit right now. It will sit between both of my indicators. It will sit right in the middle of it. All right, so it can. If what it's telling me right now, it can go either way. All right, and until I don't get a confirmation from one of my indicators, I don't see what I'm looking for. I'm not going to do it. And the candlesticks are not giving me anything right now to work with. They're kind of flat right now. So we're flat on candlesticks, and we got to see what are the manipulators. What do they want to do? What do the manipulators want to do? Now, I know that the manipulators made money. Okay, I'm talking about the bankers and the institutions. They made money when you seen this long trail right here of buys, and more buys. So they bought down here. Okay, remember, they're manipulating. They usually buy the cheapest price. They're going to get it at the best price. They're the ones manipulating this market. So somewhere around here, they probably sold. And then what you got here is the momentum from people. They get into it, the common person that gets in it, that thinks that it's going to continue to go up. And then around here is when you see the manipulators start buying into the market, selling into the market. And now you see that they sold here. Thing is how far they want to take the sell, and are they changing the route of the market? Are they beginning to change the route of the market or the trend of the market? All right. In the last 24 hours, they had a trend that was basically going down, but you see all these up and down. That's all making money for them, and at the same time, people losing money. So they had a trend, quite a big trend here. All right. Let me see if I can get this down here. They had a long trend of going up on natural gas. They were probably, at that point in time, they were probably putting up a whole bunch of stories about natural gas not being in Europe and how Europeans are going to go through all this. You see the price going up. And then somewhere around here, they had the bottom drop off. Okay, this is because they got into the position up here somehow. They got into the position up here, and then they dropped the bottom. All right? They're making money off all these directions on it. So now what you have had is basically a flat market of gasoline. This is basically LNG gas. All right, it's been a flat market of gas. You see how long it's gone. All right, and then down here they dropped the market. They tried to move the market again one way or the other because they're making money when the market's moving one way or the other. All right, so it went flat for a while. They probably were coming up with the next malarkey news that they wanted to put out to get the markets to move. And possibly around here, they came up with some kind of news that they dropped. Remember, it's all about manipulation and them making money. I do not see markets as being fair. This is not a fair game. This is unfair completely across the entire board of all investments. They're not fair. All right? They're not made for the common person to be fair. The common person is the one being scammed, you could say, out of their money. All right, most common people that invest in the market will lose their money. It is the institution, the top people, and those who give tips to those big millionaires. Because I know people who are very rich, and they will get nice little tips from their little stockbroker. All right, who was connected to big stockbroking companies. All right. Sometimes, if you know them right, if you know the right people, you can say, you take care of the right people, they can give you some nice stuff. All right, but you got to really be in with them to get the good stuff, and they don't trust anybody on that. So I won't say that right now. All right, so that's always been the case with these big giant institution brokers. All right, and I'm talking about the really big boys who are really out there with the big banks and the big institutions selling and buying. All right, now that's like the 1%, 0.5% of the people going to be able to deal with those kind of people. So here we go. But for the common person, you're basically a lot of people are just losing money here. All right. Some people might go for a long run. Commodities, long run. Wow, very risky. All right. You have some stuff like gold you can get into, but if you actually buy the physical gold, you're probably better off because you don't have a margin call on your gold. All right. So if you had gold, if you want to really invest in gold, you buy like almost like the physical gold. All right. Is what you're buying on there. As an investment, if you're having some kind of a margin call, a margin investment, like just like what we're doing here, very risky to buy gold. So you're better off just buying the actual gold, buy some, gold coins and this kind of stuff, and just put it in a nice safe somewhere. Keep it safe. All right, but don't go into the markets. I'm going to buy gold. This is not really gold. I don't see this being real gold. I think this is you're betting. You're basically playing with the price of gold is what you're doing here. Okay. So here we go. We have another. Okay, here we go. I'm going to get into the. I'm right now going to sell. I'm going to sell $2,000 on the natural gas. Let's see how it does. We're going to sell here. All right. So I sold here on natural gas. There should be a loss right off the bat. Yes, $10 loss. So right there you can see it. We're in a $10 loss here. That's what I told you that always happens at the beginning here. Okay. So we're going to see because my indicators are beginning to line up. And I right now had the indicator lined up with that. It's not exactly what it should have been, but I lined it up. It's pretty good lined up here. I feel kind of happy the way it is that. It may go sideways here, but we'll see what it does. So here we go. We have a $2 profit. Are you up there? Blue 6, wake up! We got a $2 profit, $4 profit here. We got. So we're beginning to do a little tiny profit here on this, so we're in the right direction here. We'll see where it builds up here as it goes here. So we're in a little bit of profit here. Got in at the right time. We're $4 profit on here. All right. Now you can see the amount of money you invest into this, and look at the little bit of money we're still getting in return. We're getting $8 profit here. We got an $8 return so far. Gold on natural gas, the profits can be sometimes okay. On oil, the profits can be pretty good. All right, if you can get that right. Oils can give you a good return. All right. What do we got here? We got a $4 profit. So we're doing good. Starting to fall asleep. Yeah. Go get some sleep, Blue 6. I'm over here and I'm talking to anybody's out there listening. So we're good. The good news is we're at $6 profit right now. All right. Let's see how far we're going to go here. Let's see what we can get out of here. And I have to keep an eye because we can run into a resistance for 1 second to another, and we have to pull out as fast as we got in. We're at $2 profit here. I could actually hold off here and go in the other way. It's beginning to move in the direction that I'm not too happy with. It's beginning to move a little bit sideways here. And let's see if it can actually break through that. I see a bit of resistance down here. Let me see if I can get my... I don't have a... I thought I had a line on there. I got a line right... Let me get it right here. All right, you see a little bit of resistance being built up here. All right, and now we got a -6 is what we got here, right around here. Let's see if it breaks through that resistance. We got a -12 here. Now, for whatever reason, it always does that. When you're going the other direction, it's making chunks. It's getting chunks out of your money. When it's going your direction, it's getting little tiny money. That's the way it always is. All right. It's running to some kind of a resistance right around here. All right. But I think they're still going to, because it was going a bit sideways here and then it started to head down, and some of my indicators are still indicating that this is going to go down. I believe it may end up going down. I don't know. Did you send a second donation? I have no idea, Blue 6. Yeah, I know you sent one. It was like about maybe like yesterday. I'm not sure if it was yesterday. And I got that, and I appreciate that. All right. I don't know if you send something else. I'm not sure. When did you send it? So I don't know. I got the one that's like $50. There. I don't want to say it's on the air, but it's like $50 donation made, and I got that, and I highly appreciate that. All right. Okay, so that was on there. That did go through the PayPal. Let me see, because I don't know if I see another one from you. Oh, you made there was a second one? Okay, let me look. I'll look. Okay, we're and the stock here we're down. I mean, on the on gold we're 14 minus here, but I think we're still in good position here. That we're going to see a downtrend here. All right, let me hang on a second there, Blue. Get my stuff here to work right. Okay, let me check. Okay, I got one for 26. I think that, yeah, I got the first one and I got the second one. So I highly appreciate that, man. And thanks a lot. That will definitely get me some coffee. So you should get some sleep, man, because I know you have some. I know some of the problems you got, and you should get some sleep there. And I hope you've been feeling better. I haven't heard too much if you're feeling better lately, but I hope you're feeling better and things are going better for you. We're here in a $16 minus, $26 minus. It's nothing really. Let me see. We're still in the right. We're in the right direction here. It's probably going to go. It might even go up. Yeah, it's going to go up probably even a little higher than that. But it's going to. I'm looking at a good possibility of a downtrend. That doesn't. The $44 there minus is not something that I'm too worried about, because I believe there will be a change here soon on a downtrend. They will start coming up. Okay, all right, Blue Six. You have the rest of the night, a good night, and thank you for everything. And I will continue to broadcast here for anybody that comes up. I'm gonna continue to broadcast here, and I like to put this stuff out because I want people to understand how this market stuff works, and when they show them, they can still make a profit here. So anyway, Blue Six, you have a good one. God bless you and your family. And yeah, go get yourself some sleep. Maybe later on tonight, maybe we're looking at a video over there at the other channel that I have. I might be making a video. Let's see what happens if I can get a little time here and go make myself a video. Some things I want to cover on that. All right, so you have a super good night, and thank you for all your help and the kind donation and all that. Okay, so I'll see you, man. So Blue Six there was it's like my sidekick out here on this channel and other channels he's been on, and he's been around quite a while on these channels, and he puts in his good commentaries and stuff on here and asks good questions. So here we go. We're around $48 in the hole here on a minus. That's just, you're gonna have this. There's times, believe it or not, I've made a $3,000 or $4,000 investment, you could say, and you'll see a minus of 1,000. Okay, so, but then you see it turn around, and you actually ended up getting 1,000. So, you know, that's the way it goes. It fluctuates, people. It goes up and down. That's the way the whole thing works. So we have to wait in here. I'm not over concerned about on the loss here. It looks like a loss. We have 30. It's 38. You see, it's improving. It's because my indicators. I have them quite a while, and they're pretty good, and also the experience that I have. I see these things going up and down, and it's in an area that I believe that it still will show. It should be showing up a profit soon here. We might be looking at a profit here, so we're gonna let it we could say roll out here. And now here's the thing about it. When you're doing this kind of investment, it's not that you do one investment at a time. All right. If you had let's say you had the 50,000, 70,000, 100,000 to invest, you're not just going to make a small investment and just wait there all day long to see what it does. Right now, I can make this investment as long as I'm monitoring this investment, that I'm keeping an eye on it and don't let it go out of control and go into an area that I don't want it to be in. All right. And it's blowing through it's going through systems that's giving me a giant warning: sell or get out. You know. As long as I'm there with I'm monitoring it, I can have it there all day, but I can move on to other investments. All right, I can say, well, let me now leave that there, working for now, and I'm going to check something else and move on to check something else. That's like right now. So I'm going to look at gold right now. Is what I'm going to do. Leave that running right now, and I'm going to take a look at gold here. All right, gold is has bounced off from the bottom, like I said, and it's could actually make a comeback here. Go. All right, let me go and pull out some of my other, because I have my indicators and everything for other stuff that I'm using ready for the other stuff here. No, I'm not going with the gold right now. It's not exactly where I want to be on the gold. It is beginning to show on some of my stuff that it may make a movement up. Don't like where it's at right now. Right now, I see sideways motion on gold. All right, so let me go on to the next one. Let me look at copper again. See where we are in copper here. Copper's still going sideways here, and let's see, did I get into copper? I got into that. Okay, I'm in national gas. Copper is still on a sideward motion here. Let's see. Copper looks like it could have the beginning of a. Yeah, let me put on copper because I thought you guys had it on. You don't have it on here. Okay, copper could be making a move here to go upwards here on copper. Not totally convinced on copper. Not totally convinced on copper. But I am keeping an eye because it looks like it could make a movement right now on copper. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. I just don't like where the support level of copper is at right now. I really don't like it. It's extremely far, that support level, you could say. It's really leaving you out in no man's land on copper. That's basically where copper is at. It's in no man's land right now. It's in the middle of nowhere. It doesn't have a support. It's not near the support level. It's not near the resistance level. It's like right in the middle, and it's not in the middle of nowhere. It could happen. It could go any way. It can any direction it can actually take right now. Copper. So there's some things that I'm holding off to see if I'm gonna get the clearance on it before I move on copper. Going back to the national gas. National gas is hanging in there around 36, 34. It's fluctuating. On a minus is what I have there. And I'm still good on national gas. I'm not going to sell because I feel like it's still going to make a move on the downwards. Right now, it's still giving me that it's going to make a move downwards. Let me go back and check on it. Copper, it's got my attention for a possibly moving up. All right. Let me go to national gas for a second. Yeah, national gas is still good. I'm not gonna. National gas actually is beginning to improve. We're now at 18 loss. We went from 32 to 18, so on a minus. So we're improving on national gas. Okay, so we'll let it go there. See how it goes, and let me check back on copper because copper may be making a move. Let's see here. Now you guys cannot see the indicators that I'm using, the shorts that I'm using, and the stuff that I have. I have different things that I use. All right. Okay. Copper. Copper is looking kind of interesting here. I'm not totally sold out on copper. I'm waiting for the next candlestick on copper. We're 3 minutes out from the next candlestick on copper. On this candlestick, I'm not. It doesn't have me sold. It seems to be building up a bit of resistance right in the area where it's at right now. On another resistance, yeah, resistance is building up there, but the support is way down there. So we'll see what happens. We're at $12 here now, on a negative here. $12 negative, so that means it has improved. It went as high as about 44, and now it's down to 12, so it's improving. All right, so we're going to continue to monitor that. We're waiting for the next. I'm not looking at right now. The one that I'm invested in, that I put in some money into it, it was the national gas. We're holding off on national gas right now. All right, we're down to 10, so the situation in national gas continues to improve, which is good. And copper right now, if we can get ourselves into the other candlestick, which I believe was 2 minutes out. I thought we were actually shorter than that. Copper might be making a move here. I'm not sold on it yet. I'm just not sold on copper yet. All right. And it seems like there's some people out there buying it. It could be a bit of a hype. Not hype, but people kind of panic buying, I call it. We hear panic selling, I have panic buying on this. I'll let it go. I'm not totally sold on that yet. Here we go. We're now at 0. And we were actually at 0 there one time. We're 6 minus now, and we have actually improved quite a lot there on the national gas. Monitoring copper here actually left up. It's got a my indicator, even though this indicator doesn't show it, but on the other ones that I got, it's got a long candlestick. It went up and came back down. So we're down on there. We're waiting to see what it does next. And we're about. Let me see if we got. Yeah, we're about another minute away. There's the candlestick that I was waiting for. There's our next candlestick. Okay. Okay, that's really close to where I want to be on there on the copper one. Alright, that may show something, but it may have spent out. What I mean about it is it actually it's gone a little bit too high. Alright, and you run a risk, the higher it goes, of actually getting into an area, getting too close to the resistance. And then at that point it could drop and you're not going to make enough money on the return on it. So it may have spent out on that. Alright, but I'm almost gonna have to wait for it till it goes back. It falls back a bit before considering getting into it. So we're gonna hold off on copper right there. Alright, going into copper. I don't like the big candlesticks like that, because those big candlesticks have a habit of falling down and causing problems, if you know what I mean. Alright, so it's right now on the edge of that. Let's see if there's going to be a little bit of sell here on copper, and then possibly we can get in, but it's got to be more of a sell here on copper. And I just also don't like where it's at. It's in no man's land right now. It's in the middle of the resistance and support level. That's why I don't like the looks of it. All right. And it's only in some of the indicators, it's only showing a sideward movement on there. So I'm not too. It doesn't have me sold. The copper does not have me sold right now. All right, so we're on natural gas. Natural gas. Let me go back on natural gas and see what it's doing. Okay, natural gas is still in the direction that I want, even though it's showing a negative loss, showing a loss here of $26. But it's still in the proper direction as far as the candlesticks and stuff that I want. Let me change over to natural gas because I don't have that chart. Yeah, it's still in the proper direction where I want to go with it. So we're going to hold in there. It's going to be fluctuating in there. It's come down all the way down to zero out, you can say, and then it's gone. Now it went back up to around 34, but I think it's going to continue to fluctuate in there as it slowly starts to come down more and more and more. All right, on there. So we're going to continue to watch to see what it does there. All right, it's got a little bit of sideward motion going, but the general motion on my stuff is showing that it's beginning. The indicator is showing that it's a downward trend. All right, so we're going to be watching that to see if it continues to go. Let me see what happened to gold, because gold, when copper's on the move, usually gold's on the move too. A lot of times you'll see gold on the move too. All right, and you'll see, of course, crude oil also get on the move here. Let's see what. Okay, I'll check gold. Let me check crude oil. See what it is. There's crude oil. Crude oil right now is very close where I may end up putting something on crude oil right now. It's not exactly where I want, but it's extremely close to what I want to do with it. So let me look at here. See, the thing about the difference between copper and crude oil is that crude oil is more closer to the resistance, way closer to the resistance than copper. Copper is right in the middle of no man's land between support and resistance. All right. So we're here monitoring the crude oil. Crude oil may actually be more right now. It may actually look better than copper right now. So we're going to continue to monitor there and see what happens there. Let me look at here a little closer on crude oil. This is light crude oil. I think this is the light crude oil that I'm in right now. This is the CO1 is where I'm at right now. If you guys looking at, I'm looking at CO1. Okay. Interesting, very interesting. Still showing some interesting stuff here. On crude oil, the candlesticks are sideways, you could say. We got candlesticks. Some of the wick shows a little bit of resistance towards the bottom, this last wick that we're working on, and it's leaving a bit of a long wick there. There's an indication that it's running into a little bit of resistance there. So we're going to continue to monitor that. But there's some other stuff that I have that I'm waiting to see if it gives me the looks that I want to, as far as the crude oil goes here right now. So we're waiting to see, well, to make a change. Now remember, we're doing all this live. As it is, it is. Okay. What happens? If I lost, I lost. If there's money lost, there's money lost. If there's money made, money made. I'm not cutting and pasting anything here. All right. So now we have another candlestick just came up for the crude oil, and this one shows that it's basically showing sideways motion here. I'm going to hold off here on crude oil, but it's getting very close, possibly to make a sell on crude oil at this time here. Let me look at the at natural gas. Let me pull the natural gas before I go back to crude oil, because crude oil is getting very close here to possibly put a sell on it, go short on crude oil. Let me go back to natural gas here. Okay, natural gas is still it's in the range that I'm okay with. I'm not having a problem with natural gas. It's still within the range that I'm pleased with. And I see a price change possibly coming up here. It's a little bit running into some resistance. We're down here. All right, and you got a little bit of a wedge being created here on natural gas. All right, but pretty much the overall trend has been like downwards here, even though you're going to get a bit of a wedge here. So there may be a movement here on some kind of a breakout on natural gas. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's a downward trend. Natural gas is still giving me a good look here. All right, and let me go back and check crude oil. See, I'm now going between two of them right now, because crude oil may actually come in where we want to be at here. Let's go to crude oil. Crude oil is still there. It's running into that resistance on top. Let me see if I can fix that up for you guys. So crude oil is up here running into some bit of resistance up here with the price. And the support level, it's way down here. Down in this direction down here. This is where the support level, like two support levels here. This is the stronger one. This is the weaker one. And there's a very weak support level here. But it's actually, it's in a proper place right here. For a possible down trend here on crude oil. Okay, not exactly where I want to get into or plan to get into at this moment, because they may pump it up and they're not finished with it. Okay, so, but we're okay on that one. Still waiting to see what happens here, and we have now another candlestick that just made an apparent. No, that candlestick is still the same one. I thought it was a new one. It's actually the same one. And it's got a bit of a wick, so it's actually run into some resistance. That candlestick, the wick has run in, so it's not giving you the higher price. It seems to have run into a little bit of resistance there. And looking at natural gas is still in the range that I'm okay with. No need to sell or get out of it yet. All right, we're okay with that. We're an $18 loss, but we're hanging in there on that one. That one I think is going to be okay for now. It looks fine with me with that one. So we're waiting it out to see what happens here next. As I wait here, let me give me a small coffee break. Got to get something from my throat. If not, it starts getting really bad. Let me get a little break here, and I'll be right back right after this. And we're going to continue to follow natural gas and oil here for today here. Today we are here on August 12, 2022. And we're looking at the live trading here. All right, this is a demo account. If you guys want to make this into a real account, donate some money, because I don't have the kind of money you need to really to get into this. All right, and I'm doing this to help out some people that are asking questions. Let me get my coffee break, a small little break here, and I'll be right back right after this. Right after this, I'll be right back. back here again. Maybe I have a little bit of buffering here. Sorry about that, guys. Don't have too much control over that. Let me get a little bit here. Let me turn this off. Alright, coffee break is gone. Alright, let me go back on here. Well, we got natural gas. We're still monitoring natural gas here. Alright, and you can see that, I'm sorry, actually we're monitoring oil here, but natural gas has made a comeback. It's making a bit of a profit. Let me go to natural gas because I got to be careful here because it could turn at any second. And I got to be prepared to either hang in there or get up. Natural gas. Okay. Natural gas, it's up $22, $24 right now. But I'm not happy with one of my indicators is telling me to get up. So it's not going to be a big profit on natural gas, but it's going to be time for me to get out of natural gas. I'm going to get out right now at $24. It's not a big profit, people. It's a small profit, but it's too volatile right now to stick with it. There's a change coming for natural gas. It looks like it's going to be an upwards change. So I'm not going to lose there. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, I'm going to lose my money. No, I want to make money. I don't want to lose money. Right? So it's just a little bit of money, but I'm seeing that it could make a change here, and it's going to cost me money. It could actually make a change where it's going to cost me $200, and I don't want to lose it. It's better to make 24 than to lose 22, than to lose $200, right? So we're getting out of natural gas right now because this one of my indicators just at the time that I was looking at the price changing on natural gas, it was doing good, but then whammo, something just showed up and it says no, it's maybe time to change. This is something I don't like from the candlestick at all. It's not selling me on it. So let me go back to crude oil and natural gas. Maybe something I'm going to sell here. I think on crude oil right now. It looks like it may be doing what I want. Very close to it. It's still not exactly where I want here on crude oil. All right, I had to get a natural gas. I just couldn't stay with it. Sometimes you gotta be able to move fast sometimes, or you're just gonna lose fast money. Right. So right now we're at around $66 here. Small profit. I know it's a small profit on this. If we would have had, if you would have invested like $5,000, $10,000, and you would have been that, yeah, of course you're making, maybe $1,000, is what you're making in profit. But this is a small profit, not $1,000. You need about $10,000 probably to make that kind of money. But this is a small profit because we can't stay on them. Because if you start thinking, I'll stay on them, we'll wait to see what happens. You're gonna, if you like me, I'm, these indicators, in my experience, it's years, you could say. And you can pretty much smell something bad. It's just not looking right. And you can really screw up your account in a major way. I don't like what I see in natural gas. And I have different layers of different indicators and different things that I work with. And sometimes it's just there telling you, no, they're up to something bad here. And remember, to me, I look at the market from a different perspective than 90% of the people look at. 90% of the people think that this is some kind of fair market, that the global market is a fair market. It's not. It's a very manipulated market. Institutions manipulate it. They manipulate news. They manipulate all kinds of things to move the markets up and down. They invest money one way and the other direction to move the market, intentionally investing money to move markets. All right, so there's a lot of stuff going on with it. So... after a while you get the feeling. Let me go. I think we got natural gas. We may have a sell here on natural gas here. I don't like the big giant red candlestick here. I just do not like it. That usually means a fallback on there. That means there's going to be somebody. It's going to be popping back possibly on there, unless there's a breakthrough in here. Let me see where we're at here. Don't like it too much, but it may be might be okay with it. On natural gas here. Let's see what it does here. Alright. See where that candlestick goes. What time do we have here? What do we got next to the next candlestick is up? Next candlestick is up in 1 minute. Let's see what the next candlestick tells me about this drop here. Something's happened now. I can see there's a lot of action on there. Lots and lots of action on natural gas right now. It seems to have gotten very volatile in the last couple minutes. You can see the jumps on there, up and down, up and down. It's because this is a candlestick that more than likely has been made by the big institutions, where they I'm going to sell natural gas here. Looks like the institutions are going to bring it down. Let me get out of this level that I'm at. I cannot sell at that rate. So I'm going to sell around 1700 right here. National gas. And we're going to see what it does. It could be, it got to be careful because it could be the institution selling it. What institutions will do is they'll actually be responsible for that. All right. And when they have a market that's gone sideways too much on them, and they already invested what they invested. Let's say they got enough shorting. They shortened this national. Right now we're on crude oil, and they shortened crude oil enough, and they got enough of their investment up here. Then they'll pull this stunt. They'll pull the long candlestick stunt, which is their money, pushing this. You see where it went up now? This is what I was afraid of. That's exactly what I was afraid of, because they'll push it up, but there may be another institution somewhere else pushing it. I mean, they push it down. There may be another institution pushing it up. So now we have a little fight here going on. You could say this is usually institutions fighting it out here, to see which direction they want to push this market to. All right. So they're not all in this. I'm gonna tell you right now, they're not all on the same page. All right. I'm not going by their institution or the little game that they're playing. Right here, they're playing a little game. I'm not going by that. I'm going by an indicator, something that I have, which is an indicator. All right. And a couple other layers that I have that's saying this is going to possibly be going down very soon here. All right. So, but they'll do is they'll pull this. They'll bring in this long candlestick. And this is to get a sellout, to get people to start selling or going short. All right, and just to go in their direction, which they're trying to push. All right, but they always have the problem of another institution coming in and not agreeing with them and start going against what they want, and you see the price going up. All right, so let's see who got the. So on my case, because I know they're playing the game with, I'm looking at other stuff. I'm looking at the layers and layers that I have, different indicators and different things. They're showing me in a different direction. They're showing me it's downwards. Bug here. It's showing me as if it's going to be possibly going in a direction that I want it to, which is right now what I did is basically I shorten oil. I basically am selling oil, so I shorten it. All right, so I'm waiting to see what it does. It's actually going in the direction I want right now. All right, that's not a big loss right now. It's only $22 minus. The big buy here, you can see, it's really beginning to fade off. It's just fading off the big buy here. That they tried to push it back up. All right, so that could be that the institution that did this is actually pushing it. It's just said, you know, the hell with you guys. I'm going to push it down. We're going to push it down. All right, so we're here at about $14 loss, $11 loss now. It's improved a lot better. It was up around 30. Now it's back to 14. We already made for today. We're not making a lot of money. There's been a lot of volatility. You have to get in and get out really fast. If not, you're going to suffer a major blow here. Okay, so it's not a big deal here. We're still waiting to see if we can get a couple hundred here, one of these couple moves here, or maybe 1,000. And we're going to continue to go here. So we're looking at it. Okay, we're down here. We're around $3 minus here, and in the red. Now we're going plus here. We're $11 profit. Oil can be quite good. I just got to monitor it. I'm monitoring my stuff. This is not the charts that I'm using. The one you see is not the chart that I use. A lot of times I won't be using these common charts. I use charts that are very advanced and stuff that I put my own indicators together with my own settings, you could say. All right. So I'm watching here that we're at right now we're even. We're not lost. We don't have a loss. We don't have a win on there, and it's gone. It's going to continue to move up. There's a lot of volatility right now on oil right now. So there's a lot of there's a resistance, a bit of a resistance down. Let's see if I can move this guy here. Get me this to move around here. There's a bit of a resistance, but the bigger resistance is down. I believe is down here. This is where it's at, right around here. So it's okay. It's on this higher, not resistance. The biggest support is down here, and the resistance is up here. So I'm okay. I think where I'm at here. Getting it at the price that I got it right now. We're only at about a $14 loss here, so I think we're okay on there. Okay, so we're going to continue to go there. And we're now at $7 loss, so it's improving here. You can see where they're fighting it. They're trying to fight it. I think they're just trying to move the price down right now. That's what they're trying to do. Alright, and we're going to continue to watch this to see if they can get it down there in that direction. It's got a ways to go to get into the main. And then what you may see here is a middle where there's more like it comes towards the middle, and then you're going to see it possibly moving up here. Alright, so this is them playing the little game because they seem to have gotten themselves a little bit of a trend going on here. From around here, the trend seems to be building up from around here all the way up here. So they seem to get a bit of an upward trend here, even though they had this fall right here, but I think that's just to build their momentum to go up even further higher. Alright, so they may be trying to move gas. The problem is they're getting close to the on the price of gasoline. They're getting up there to, you know, the mid 90. You could say the mid 90s. They're like 90, almost at 95 now. And I think the big resistance is going to be there up at about 100. If they get to that, all right, they may decide that this may be a little bit too much, and it's better to keep pumping and dumping the market between 90, 95 to around the low 83. You could say just keep it within that range, and that's what you may see here in the next week. Is that little pumping and dumping, and this is probably going to continue all the way up to November, and then they're going to use the news from November and October. From October, November, December, they're going to use the news of all the heating oil and all the people going. Of course, people, you know, all the kids that go back to school in September, and depending on what country you're in, and all this is. They're going to say that a lot of oil is being used, and there's not a lot of manufacturing of oil because they still have the problem with all the oil pipelines being cut off in the United States, right? So they're going to then use that to move the price possibly more higher. Come in, you're looking at you know, anything from September, November, you know, enough September, October, November, December, where you see the prices start screwing around, going up higher possibly, and during that time. But we gotta be careful because when you're dealing with an institution, they could screw you up any second now, and they know that this is what people are thinking. So because they already are, remember they're using algorithms, and they use huge supercomputers and algorithms to gather all this information and all this talk from the internet, and then the algorithms gives them a readout of where the thinking of the people is going to become in the next couple of months. And this is another advantage that they have over you. Of course, they have all the calls and all the puts being put out to November and December and even into January and February. They know about those calls and puts. They know how many people are into those calls and puts. So they got all the data that you don't have. They have a huge advantage over you, and they got the money to back it up. All right, so that's the way they manipulate their markets. As you can see, the oil there is still fluctuating up and down. Let me move this out of the way and give me a closer look here. Now, what's going on here? All right, so we got oil still fluctuating up and down. All right, on there. So we got still a sideways motion here. It seems like they want to take it down, but I don't think they're going to go too far down with it. All right, I'm okay with my stuff. It's not showing any major, you could say major event, any major one of my layers are not showing that there's a major stuff. Some breakdowns over. So I'm not selling it. I could sell out anytime I want to, you know. Even if I feel like it's going to go down, it's going to really go down really fast. Maybe even buy more. I mean, sell more. You know what I mean? But I can get out in and out whenever I want. If it's a loss, yeah, I'm losing maybe a couple bucks here. But I think right now we're okay where I'm at right now. What I'm looking at, we're fine there where we're at. All right. So we just continue to watch here. It is running into a. It's like you could say a bit of resistance right in here. It's what you're going to see. Right around here. So you got resistance, not resistance, a support level like around here, and you got a resistance up here. Alright, so it's in that area where they're running it. Alright. Alright, so they may be going back and forth between what appears to be here at about and around 93.53 to around 93.87 being the very highest. Well, more than likely it's going to be 93.76 inside there, where they're going to be playing the little games up and down on there. All right, so we're going to continue to watch here, see what it does. All right, okay. Alright, I'm in the area that I maybe have to pull up. Let's see what it does. It's still running. It's still going up and down. Indicators are not really showing any real big panic. They're still okay where they're at. But it's going to continue to, I think we're going to have a lot of sell and buy in this area right now. It did run into this, which is kind of strong, because you see the candlesticks, they all almost end in the same spot. A lot of the stuff ends right around here. Alright, so this is pretty much a pretty good strength there on that resistance on there, and the support level is beginning to get a good strength, so it may end up lying in there for a while. Alright, with the sell and buy and sell and buy. Alright, so we'll see what happens in there. Alright, we got a little higher, we got a little high buy, which is a good candlestick for buy. Alright, it's right above here, and this could be one that it could break over. They had the one back here before, didn't do that much. Actually, they had to turn back into a sell. Alright, the buy went back to the sell. So we're waiting to see what it goes from there, as things begin to move here. Alright. Alright. We just gotta wait to see what it does here. It's just it's good volatility here, but the direction here, it seems like you may have an institution that decided to see if they're going to pull the market down. You had another one that was counting that institution, another one on the others, who knows where. Saying, we don't agree with that. We're going to take you on, and then you have this a lot of buying here coming in. Of course, we're just the small people. Anybody out there, even if you're investing $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $1 million, you're not the big cat. All right, the big cats are into the millions and millions of dollars they invest. All right. The big institution banks, the big institutional investors and brokers, you could say, they're the ones behind the movement of these markets. All right, and one market on one side, one big institution or bankers or brokerage on one side may have one idea what the price of oil should be, and they're going to manipulate it. All right, to get people to go one direction or the other one. The other one may actually be thinking the opposite, and then you'll have this kind of crap right here. You'll have this little fight going on here where they're not in the same page. All right, so you have this up and down. This goes on until somebody either wins or the other one gives. Somebody just said, "I'll give up and I'll let it go this direction, and we'll go that direction," or they'll set themselves right, or they'll get it right, and they both ended up making some money off of this. They usually don't lose money. Most of the time they win money, and sometimes these institutions, not sometimes, many of the times they know each other, so they end up calling themselves up until they get an agreement on which way they want to send the market to. So one institution on one side of the wall may call up the other institution on the other side of the wall, say, "Hey man, what are you doing, man? We want to go the market down." "Oh no, man, we want to go the market up." And then finally they'll get their staff together and they'll say, "Okay, we decided it's better to take the market down, so we're all gonna go in sync again." All right. So, but then you always got those individuals maybe don't want to cooperate too much, all right, and they got the crazy market going up. But let's see what they're going to go. Let's see what direction they're going to pull. It seems like the whole idea was to bring the market down, all right, to bring the prices down for now. They may try to dump it down here because they had this big giant. You see all this blue right here? That's them pumping it up. They started to pump it here, and then you see a lot of what I call panic buying. And you see the panic buying in here. It's a lot of people getting their money in there. And then you have where the institutions tried to dump it. Maybe somebody thought it was too early in the game to do that. We got a little bit of a gain here. We got around $3.72. Very small gain here. Just jump back into red. It's going to vary there. But I'm still okay with my stuff. My onion layers of different things is still showing me that we'll still be going on 8 downs. Should be going downwards here. It's just we're running into that one resistance down here. If we can clear this resistance, or if it can actually break through that resistance down here, then you may see a fall all the way down here. Is what you're going to see. So I'm not going to get into it. It's not a big loss, not a big deal here, and we're going to just continue to monitor here. As they go, as they you could say, in some ways, fight it out to see who's gonna get the win over it. And this one, is it going to go up or down? And my stuff is showing that it's a downward trend here that's going to develop here. Short downward. I don't think it's a long-term downward trend. It's more like a short downward trend. All right, and I don't think they're going to go too crazy with the price of oil. There's too much politics involved in oil nowadays, and they know they can only do so much with their pumping and dumping. All right, so we're just gonna continue to monitor it and see what it does. Okay, we're at about, we had about an 11, now we're at 3 gain there, and we'll continue to watch here to see what it does. My stuff doesn't, I have stuff that I've set up different layers that if even if it gets to something that I don't like, it's just going to indicate it to me, look, it's time to get out. It's probably best to get out now. Alright, we're getting close to that, very close right now to the support level, and if it breaks through that support level, then you're going to see probably a more stronger drop here, and it's really beginning to dig into that support level down there. Right now it's digging into that support level. $18 profit, $22 profit right now. Okay, so we're okay. Not big deal, not a big thing, but we're okay here. Okay, $22 profit. It's fluctuating between 22 and 11. Now it's $26, $29 at the high you're seeing right now. Profit, it's beginning to dig in through that. Let's see if it breaks through. We're at $29 in profit right now, and it's beginning to continue to dig in there and see what it does. And let's see, it's still trying to dig in through there. It's trying to dig themselves. Oh, that looks like it's trying to do there. Okay, we're still at $18 profit. It's not a big giant profit margin, but for the day we're around $80, $88 in profit for the day here. So for a couple hours we're around $80 in profit here. And we're getting close to $100 in profit here. We're just marching through the resistance there, and I'm waiting for a couple of things to happen in my onion layers if I'm going to pull out here to see if it happens. If there's going to be a panic where they're going to stop it right here. Alright, we're getting close to an area that down around here in the next block, you can see between here and here, there'll be a decision what they want to do here. They may end up just stopping right around there, in that area, anywhere in that area. So we're continuing to monitor it. Yeah, still got a very small bit of profit here. It's bouncing off that support level. It's just comes in and bounces off the support level. It's not going through the support level like it maybe should be going. But we're still watching here, see what it does. Okay, it's pretty much managed to blow right through that support level. Right now we're at $52 profit, $55 profit right now. So it's gone. It's really blown through the support level. I'm still waiting for a couple of things from my side to see if this is where I'm gonna have to call it quits. We're at $52. We're at $63 right now. $63. We're at $70. We just hit $74 right now. $78 in profit right now, and we'll continue to monitoring to see what it's going to do next here. All right, it's $82 right now. We're around 82 right now. It's pretty strong. It's very strong. Let me see the next candlestick here. Next candlestick is around 2 minutes away, and that's usually when something will change if it's going to move up. We're at close to almost $100 here for this little cell we got here, and we're fluctuating now between 90s, the high 90s, and the high 80s, you could say. We're fluctuating. And we're seeing a candlestick beginning to develop here. Okay, and see what is it going to do. Alright, I'm gonna have to shut it down here because I can see the candlestick is not going in the way I want to. But we're looking at about, I'm gonna shut it off here. Alright, so we're looking at about $55 profit right there. I don't like that. I hate to see such a long wick. The wick is extremely long here. This is not a good indicator of a strong downward trend for me. I'm looking at, if the wick would have been shorter, I would have hung in there, but that very fast moving wick in the opposite direction, that's not a good indicator for me to stay within that. So I closed the position. Right now for the day, for today in general, we're up to $122 in profit for today in general. All right, it's a lot of volatility in the market. All right, so it's not it's not too shabby. It's only a couple hours of work here to get it to, I don't even know what, I don't know how long. Let me see how long I've been here. I say a couple hours, actually, maybe even shorter than that. Let me see if I can see how long I've been out here. Yeah, it's about 2 hours and 45 minutes I've been out here. So in 2 hours and 45 minutes, that was a $122 in profit in around 2 hours and 45 minutes. And I don't even think I spend that much time actually with anything. I actually spend half of that time just searching for the proper investment to get into the proper, you could say not option, the proper commodity to buy. Okay, that's what I spend like half of that time just searching. Not even the actual buy and sell time is a lot shorter than that, because I don't get into these for a very long time. I'm looking at my stuff. I'm glad I got out right now, because one of my indicators just told me get out. Right now, it just told me get out. It was one of my layers just telling me what I'm seeing on one of my layers is an indication to get out. All right, so I'm glad I got in when I got out, because it was probably going to be more of a loss in there. I knew that long candlestick was bad news. I mean, the long wick is bad news if you're going to shorten this, and it doesn't mean it could actually go down for it. It could still push it more down, but I'd rather not go and gamble it too much here, because they may end up the people on top, they already sold this. Right now they're just profit taking. And what you see is this momentum that you see down is it's possibly not the big institution anymore. What you're seeing now is just regular buyers and sellers. You and me, you could say, are the ones moving that down, up and down. All right. So they're just now seeing. They're going to see the people getting in there and see what they can sell. The big institution are going to wait now to see how when the smoke kind of clears here, what they want to do next. If they're going to move it up, or they're going to take it sideways and then move it down again. Okay, but as for me, I'm pretty much done for today. All right, this is as far as I go for today. I like to trade a lot of different things when I'm dealing with the commodities. You can say oils and national gas and oil and gold and all this. It's also good to get into calls, and they can make you better money sometimes. The calls. All right, now you can see that the good movement is still a strong movement here, on the downwards. And one of my indicators that was showing to get out is actually now gone neutral, and it's waiting. It's not showing to get out. So there may be still some sellers here. People are pushing it down, and they're still pushing that down. And the institution may just be holding off here to see what happens. And what you have now is a lot of people involved in you could say the common person. The institution, I think, we're more on top here. But the institution, if they see a lot of movement, I don't think it's kind of a sucker play at this time to get in. If you want to get in there at this moment, because you could get yourself into trouble. Okay, it's really down. It's done a good job in moving up, but it could be a bit of a sucker play to get in there at that time, thinking it was going to move down further, because it's really it blew through that resistance up here. There is another resistance, but it's down here. All right, it's right about here. And it's getting close to that. All right. So, and I told you this more around the middle of this is where they were going to stop. All right, because I think what their plan is possibly to take this back up past this resistance here, but they're going to need some momentum going that way. So you might see that going down today. As far as for me, that's as far as I go for today. It wasn't a huge gain, you could say, but I'm playing it safe. I'm trying to play it conservative here. All right, if you're not conservative when it comes to this kind of investment, and you just go crazy throwing money all over the place, you're gonna lose all your money. You're gonna get into problems with margins. If you got a margin account, you're gonna get a call for margins, and you're gonna end up losing everything. So this kind of stuff. All right, so you gotta be a little bit conservative, but you can't be too conservative where you're not making nothing. I could not say this a really great day. If I was up about 1,000, yeah, that would be great. But that's asking for the size of the account. That's asking for a lot. If this is a $50,000 account, all right, and $122, that would be a very small profit for one day. But if you have a $50,000 account and you're making 1,000, 2,000 a day, you're pretty good. You're doing okay. That in itself is pretty much can be okay if you just do the math on that. If you do a 20-day a month, you could say, investment. You can make quite a good profit on it. All right, you can pretty much almost double your account, but you got to be very conservative. You still got to be conservative. You got to know what to do. And this is me. Look at all the years I got, and you see how I'm treating this. All right, how I still am got to be in here, got to be conservative. All right. If you guys are watching this, and maybe you're a big time person who has, I mean, not big time, but you're somebody that has a lot of wealth. Okay, you want to get into something like this? Hey, I'm here. I'm available. You know, talk to me. I got my email address right there, and let me know what you want to do. All right. No, I can't sit here and say I'm going to send you signals. I'm not into that. I'm not giving signals. I mean, you want to do a business part. You want to say, hey, look, James, I want to get you in here, and I want you to trade for me. And here's what you're going to have in your account. You're going to have $50,000. You're going to have $100,000. You're going to have $1 million. This is what you're going to be trading, and you're going to get a certain amount of percentage here. This is what the percentage you're going to get. Okay, fine. Now we're talking business. All right. So, but yeah, you know, you can see what I can do with was an account. All right, and you know that I'm here, and I'm not going crazy with his account. And if I gotta wait, you know, longer time to get into something, I'm not going to just jump into something because I like gold. No, I don't like gold. I don't like copper. I think at the same time I like everything. You know what I mean? What I'm trying to say is I'm not in love with any of that stuff. I'm not, and I don't hate any of that stuff. The thing is that. When you get into this is not about a love about gold, about copper, about platinum, about oil. No, it's nothing to do with that. This has nothing to do with what you're buying, you could say in some ways. This all has to do with the numbers game and how they're playing the number games and the manipulation. You're talking about bankers and institutions basically controlling this up and down pumping. It's a pump and dump scheme that goes on, you could say, almost 24/7. You could say on every almost, and it can really hurt a lot of people if they don't know what they're doing. But at the same time, it can make you a profit. It can, if you understand pump and dump institutions, the way they work, the thinking behind it, the news they put out, sometimes they'll put a positive news towards a certain type of they say a commodity, they say oil or gas, but in reality they're playing you, trying to get you to get in there right away, put some money, so then tomorrow they're going to put a very extreme negative news in which they're going to dump it and make money off of you because they already positioned themselves. All right, so that's all it is. It's a big dump and buy and selling game. Pump and dump game for them. This goes for everything: the forex market, the stock market of every single country, the forex market of every single country, the commodity section of every single country. Everything is pump and dump. And the big institutions are always constantly doing this. And sometimes you can see up here, to me, this little group up here that you see up here, this is institutions that did not agree too much on what was going on until somebody made the right call and they got the direction that they wanted to. You know, and they got you going with a big, nice little red candle here, and then everybody else follow up with that. Now the people that have actually they ended up, you know, selling. You know, they made some money. If you're up here, okay. If you sold down here, now you're thinking, why well, should have not sold down here? Maybe you should have been listening to me. I told you to get out. I got out around here. I got out almost at the middle. I said, you have to get out. I have to get out. I cannot stay there. All right. And it's got as high as, I didn't make much on that one. I got about $55, $60. I think is what I got. $55, $60. I got as high as 90, but it's moving too damn fast to catch it. All right. And I knew it when I seen that it was fluctuating all the way up to, you know, from 55 to 90, fluctuating. I knew that they were going to leave it around. They were going to, you know, it was better to get it at 55 than just sit there and, I'm going to get 90 and never got it. Because right now you're going to start possibly be seeing the pullback here. All right. But here's the good thing about here. All right. You can actually right now, this could be a good one to get into to buy. All right, I won't do it right now. There's some of my indicators are not telling me that. They're not telling me get in there. This is a risky one. This is a risky buy if I got into it to buy. It'll be a risky buy. It's not the pure It's not the pure layers that I have on indications. This will not include some of the stuff that I have that will tell me, hey, go ahead and buy. All right. Now remember, the stuff that I have is put together by me. It's not something out there over the counter you're going to buy. It's stuff that I put in my own. You could say my own. You could say. Fixing my own indicators one way or the other and putting the ranges that I want, the stuff that I want. All right, and still even with all that, it's going to take some years of experience to know which way you were looking at here. All right, so you'll be looking at, I think what you're going to see here possibly in the next couple hours is an up and down game here. All right, where it's going to go sideways and then go up, and go sideways, go down, go up, and then possibly all the way up to the opening of the U.S. market. All right, or where they're going to continue to play this game. And then you're going to start seeing some changes. You got the Chicago board of options and all that's going to open up, and you're going to start seeing. Then you're going to start seeing some of the volatility come, and you're going to see which direction they're going to take it. And then it kind of goes around the world. It goes to the Asian markets. The Asian markets play around with the oil prices. Then the European market plays around with the oil prices, and then comes the U.S. market, and then the U.S. market plays around with the oil prices. So you'll see the volatility change, or you see the hands change. With the European market, the Asian market could have been dropping it, and the European market comes in and so it starts rising, and the American market comes in and it starts dropping. So it's all that, but they're all in commute. You can say they all communicate with one another. Behind the scene, they're all talking to each other. And they're all planning to see how they're going to play, how they're going to play. And of course, they get a lot of people in the Middle East and oil-rich countries who are involved in this game, who are going to also have something to say on this, on which direction they want it. They believe the market should go up. They're all making tons of money. They're not just making money off the actual product, the oil. They're making tons and tons, literal tons of money off this platforms, these selling and buying, you could say, of these options, these contracts, these economics, you could say. They're making tons of money out of all this fields. You're talking about soybeans, you're talking about corn, you're talking about copper, or gold. It's all pump and dump. That's all pump and dump. All right, they manipulate all that back and forth. They can do it to a certain percentage but if there is a reality, if there is a shortage on oil or gold or whatever, that's going to affect them. Or there's too much of it, it's going to affect the price. But they have enough money and power to manipulate it one way or the other. All right, but they can always, like I say, it can come to a point where they're not able to do it anymore. Okay, but they're still gonna end up most of the time they're gonna end up in the winning end of it, the whole deal. You're going to most of the time end up in the losing end, unless you really got some people who are experienced, all right, and that are conservative and with money. All right, they got to be conservative in how they're going to move your money up. You're gaining more money than possibly sitting your money there in a bank just doing nothing, making almost no interest at all, or maybe even a minus interest. All right, and you still can move up, but still have to be not totally conservative. Because if you're too conservative, you don't make nothing. But if you're too crazy, you're going to lose it all. And you got to be somewhere almost in the middle in there to make some money. Move it up and get yourself profit. So anyway, people, thank you for joining, and don't forget to please subscribe to the channel and make a donation to the channel if you can. It will be highly appreciated. You can use the QR code there. Just get scanned there. You can just either make a donation for Bitcoin or PayPal. Yours truly doesn't have a job. I don't have a job. I can do some stock trading and this kind of trading. If I had the capital, I don't have nowhere near the capital, and I'm not going to risk anything for my family. On this right now, I can't do it. I just don't have the money. That's all money for food and rent that I owe. All right, but that's nothing that I got myself into. But that will have to go back to several years ago, many years ago, when I did have a job and I did have, you could say, things were financially better for me. There are certain things that have happened. Let's just say certain national crisis has happened to me, including an injury that I had that has basically wasted all my resources are gone as far as capital goes, and I can't even get into the market right now if I wanted to. And I was trying to get into the market, but it's very hard to convince anybody to try to invest in you. To say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to invest so much capital, and you go ahead and see if you can help. People want to invest, they want to maybe invest to give you $1,000, and then they want to turn that $1,000 into $1,000,000. Come on, people, be real. You got to be real about this thing. That's not going to happen. All right, you're seriously looking at investment. You're looking at 40,000, 100,000, 50,000. You're looking at some big money to invest, especially when it comes to commodities and this kind of stuff. Okay, if you're in a forex market, I won't even get in much into the forex market. It's extremely volatile. Okay, but still, you can do some investment in forex. Stock markets can also be very volatile. You can get into it. It's a little slower. But the commodity markets can be right if you stick right. You understand some of the you understand where some of the stuff is at. But like I said, there's people in the past that say, James, I'm gonna get you a couple bucks here for investment. You're like, $100 ain't gonna do it. It's not gonna get you. If you told me right now, I'm gonna give you $100 and I'll give you $50. I'll give you 50% of whatever you make in profit. I'm gonna say you're probably gonna get 50% in losses. All right, it's just the Martians accounts, just not going to do it. All right, they can. It's very little profit, very hard to make anything on it. All right, and it can be a lot of time to get very little, nothing in return. And on top of that, risking anything like that. Okay, you really got to be ready to. If you're gonna go and invest, you gotta get ready to really put some bucks behind it. All right, right now I got an account here. This is basically a demo account. You see that it started off at 11,000. Yeah, we're up to 122 for only an hour and 40 minutes. Not even that of work. All right, that's very little. If I would have stayed here all day, if I would have stayed here the next 8 hours, maybe I can take that $11,000 and turn it into 11,500, 11,700. Okay. Okay, if I was here, maybe you could say several hours doing this, all right? Because I'll be going back and forth on different things, and I have to continue to do research. And on top of that, I'm doing a video, so so it takes me off a little bit off the concentration where I need to, but that will take a while, all right? But if you're going to really get into investment, you say, oh, I really want to get into that. Okay, well, you have to put up some capital to actually get into a serious investment on there, and I have people, I'm gonna give you my account. Well, how much is in your account? Well, my account has about $300. I go, well, it's not going to do it. All right, I'm just going to end up probably losing some of your money. It's just the Martian calls on there is just too damn. It will not allow you to get to the point you want to get. It doesn't allow you to do the trades you want to do. Okay, you're too tight on Martians, and because of the market being so wild, you can get a Martian call at any second just with a little tiny movement of anything. All right, you have to have the space for the Martians. You have to have a space where you can operate, and the Martian call is not going to destroy you. All right, and this is why it's very risky to get a very small capital into the market. They know it. That's why they see a lot of these institutions or these companies. They'll tell you, yeah, you don't need a big deposit. You can deposit anything you want. Yeah, of course, those little accounts are going to really be helping them out in a major way because they're all going to be a lot of them are just going to be accounts that are going to be lost. They're not making nothing off those. They're the people are not making nothing, and the accounts are ending up in the hands of all these people that own these companies. All right, and they're the ones making all the money. It's I think they're more like you get the really big person to come in there with 100,000, 50,000, $200,000. If they got the right person who can manage that account and really do the proper trades where they can make money. There's still these institutions that are going to make money one way or the other. Okay, but they got to it's hard to attract a big giant investor, or the one with the big bucks. They attract easier. They attract a lot of the small time people. The people that they want to make some money, but just don't have the real capital to make the money nowadays. Anyway, people, God bless you guys. Thank you guys for all your help and everything. And don't forget to help out if you can. And like I said, if you have anything that you want to suggest, I got my emails there in the about box. All you gotta do is go to the about page, and you should see my email there. You can contact me anytime you want to, and make your offer or whatever, or leave the commentary and leave in some way to contact you, or whatever, and we can talk. If you're interested in any kind of investment. Don't forget to donate to the channel, help me and my family, and anything. And I'm going to see if I continue to put out more stuff like this, maybe do more shows like this. Please tell me if you like the shows, if you like to continue with it, put thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel, and other good stuff. So thank you guys, thank you for everything, and you guys have a super day out there, and I will see you. Bye-bye now. We got that one. Let me get my page here. Where am I at here? I lost my page on here.